Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the After Hours podcast. On today's episode, we have a bunch of current and past Nissan technicians, all of which are good friends of mine. I've been trying to have this podcast episode for, I think, over a year at this point, and we finally made it happen. We got Eddie, Bryan, Kris, Nick, and me. We all have been Nissan technicians at some point or are still currently Nissan technicians. So I figured it was a good episode for, basically for anyone, obviously. I mean, as I was doing this podcast, I would be like, this would be one of my favorite episodes. But the main idea behind this was for the young guys out there looking to see any insight they could get on if they want to become a mechanic or which route to go to do that. That was pretty much my idea behind this whole episode. So I hope it worked out. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a review. And yeah, thanks for listening. Just a reminder, we are giving away products every month over on FactionMotorsports.com. Every $5 spent gets you one entry, and Faction Motorsports merch and products get you double entries. For our website raffle this month, we are giving away a Thrash Racing seat of your choosing. This means you can either select one that is in stock, or you can special order one and wait for their next shipment. This will include the shipping cost to you as well. Thrash Racing is one of the most well-known JDMC companies out there. From the glory days of D1 GP, these seats have been seen in many famous drift cars like Fukuda's 180SX. Thrash Racing has experienced a resurgence in recent years, supplying drivers such as Julian Jacobs of Animal Style and Tom Nazzaro of Front Street Drift Club with steering wheels, racing harnesses, and some of the coolest aftermarket seats available. Thrash Racing seats have been our go-to for years. Their removable head restraints, fabric choices, and wide variety of sizes cater to all racers. Their seats have been the standard in grassroots drifting. If you are interested in purchasing Thrash Racing products, make sure to visit FactionMotorsports.com or give the shop a call to see what we have in stock currently. And don't forget to give Thrash Racing a follow on social media to keep up to date on all their new products and their drifting events. And now a quick word from our sponsors before we dive into this episode. East Coast Drift School, which is located in Englishtown, New Jersey, is a driving school that offers a more private and intimate environment for learning how to drift. Whether you're someone who has countless drift events under their belt or someone who has yet to kick a clutch, East Coast Drift School is a great place to pick up some seat time and improve your drifting abilities. Be sure to follow East Coast Drift School on Instagram. Feel free to message them directly for pricing and availability as well. You can find them on Instagram at East Coast Drift School. Chase Bays has been a household name in our industry for over 15 years, supplying us with tons of fluid power products such as power steering cooler kits, oil catch cans, engine oil coolers, hydraulic handbrake kits, and of course their dual piston brake booster elite kits, which fit a wide variety of vehicles. The core values of Chase Bays has always been function, simplicity, quality, and aesthetic. All of their products are user-friendly and easy to install while of course looking the part. The quality of their products has only increased over the years, and now with Front Street Drift Club being a sponsored team of Chase Bays, you can guarantee the products will be stress tested as well. You can check out Chase Bays products and place your orders directly on our website, and make sure to use the coupon code ChaseBaysAfterHours with no spaces to save on checkout. Limitless AutoFab is a fabrication shop and retailer located in Illinois. They produce bash bars and catch cans for a bunch of popular models in the drifting community. Limitless bash bars are honestly the industry standard right now. Fabricated from 1.5-inch mild steel tube, these bars are designed to take the impact of light collisions in order to avoid or minimize damage to your vehicle. A must-have for drift cars. Their bars also come with jacking points and optional license plate brackets, so everything you need is right there from the start. Limitless Auto also sells catch cans for a handful of specific models. These cans are built in-house and chassis specific. We have used these cans in the shop with great results. The guys over at Limitless are on social media, so make sure to check out their Instagram and give them a follow. They post photos of all the drift cars using their products from Front Street Drift Club to Animal Style. If you are in the market for a bash bar or catch can, make sure to check out their full product line up on our website, FactionMotorsports.com. This podcast is brought to you by Faction Motorsports. We are an automotive performance shop located in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our shop is easy to get to from Route 17, 3, and 21. We are also only 15 minutes away from New York City. Faction Motorsports provides services that include, but are not limited to, performance part installations, suspension overhauls, general maintenance, engine installations, tire mounting and balancing, and custom four-wheel alignments with our in-house Hunter alignment machine. We also stock a range of performance products in-house. From AN fittings and gaskets to complete body kits, we try to stock as many parts as we can to provide quick shipping times for our website customers and same-day pickup for locals. Make sure to shoot us an email if you are looking to set up an appointment or if you are looking for a part that is not up on our website. Our email is sales@FactionMotorsports.com. We are also on Instagram at FactionMotorsports.
All right, guys, welcome to the Faction After Hours podcast. We're here to bring you another episode. Tonight, we have a guest. No, just kidding. We have 8.
We have 4 guests.
We have the Nissan crew. Is that what this is?
This is the Nissan technician episode.
Okay, we have the Nissan technician episode. These guys all have a variety of cars, so it's good. It's like a good time to get an overview of absolutely nothing. We're just going to talk about bullshit for the next couple hours. But we have Nick, Bryan, and Eddie, as well as Kris.
Kris is here.
Kris is here.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's nice to see you. Dude, Kris, it's nice to have you on the pod. Thank
When was
God.
the last time I was on the pod?
9 years ago.
Well,
Wasn't it?
50 pounds ago, too.
Yeah, no, 900 pounds ago, dude.
55. Right
55.
Yeah, you not lurking no mo. You the star. This is you.
I think the last time I was on the episode was probably below 30s.
Yeah, definitely below the 30s.
Yikes.
Somebody's got to keep the lights on while Frankie's not
While we're in here bullshitting.
working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So this is pretty much, I mean, some of the listeners know I worked at Nissan. So this is pretty much like all my coworkers here right now, except what, like Miyagi, and that's pretty much.
Where is he?
Miyagi worked at Nissan too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we got a lot of videos.
That was a movie
You-
with Miyagi.
What
Yeah,
was
I
it?
know.
What
Every day, him being present at work was a movie.
what was he doing? Just
Malcolm,
smoking,
could you?
The water.
just smoking cigarettes and just getting mad at everybody?
Yeah, we'll show you what Miyagi was doing at work. But
Why? Oh no, they're pulling up paraphernalia on their phones. Everybody's got their phone out right
Dude,
now.
when
They're-
I said we were doing this podcast, they just all of a sudden started sending me crazy videos. I was like, oh
Which is
my
perfect.
God, dude.
We'll have them ready. Just boom, 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 boom.
So you guys all worked with Frankie? I knew Eddie
Yep.
from
No,
working
Malcolm's
with
number.
Chris.
It's this one.
I work with Kris.
Hold on, get Eddie a mic. Get Eddie, and get close to that.
So I work with Kris, and that's how I met Frankie and the Faction crew
When you were at Ramsey, or you were
when I
at?
was at Ramsey. And then when I came over to Lynn's, that's when I met Bryan.
Oh, we're name dropping on this
then-
shit? All right.
That's when I found
That's
out
fine.
he knew Kris and everybody, and the big world just became small.
Yeah, for real. Because I was popping into Nissan really, and I had what did I have? I had a coupe, and then I had the hatch, and I also brought a multitude of other bullshit in between that. Like I brought the truck there, like my Land Cruiser. I brought it there for an alignment. Who was Everett? Oh, I miss my boy. Everett, bro. That was Chris's manager. Was it your boss? Was it you guys' boss? What was he?
Yeah, he was technically my manager.
Dude, he looked like a guy that owned a bagger, and he did. A Harley.
He did have a bagger.
He looked like a beast on that thing.
Yeah.
Dude, his head was freshly clear coated. That's how shiny it was.
He had a
Dude,
he
right?
had a white road glide.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Did you know-
Chris knows what those are?
Did you know
Damn.
Everett?
No, I just remember.
I don't know bikes.
No,
I
no.
don't think so.
It just looked like an Everett
So
bike.
you guys worked together at Ramsey?
So me and Eddie worked together at Ramsey,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I missed you guys by a year
At Bergenfield.
in Bergenfield.
Yeah, I only saw you with your Nissan drive. I was like, look, right hand drive.
Oh, yeah. Every time you drive
Look,
by the
right-hand
shop.
drive.
Yeah.
And then,
On the way to Ramsey.
yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. The division.
Yeah, it does. We were, because the longest time we were together was at Bergenfield.
Yeah. Bergenfield.
Well, not technically, probably not. Oh, but you left and came back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that probably was the longest time we were all together.
what did each of you do? Like, what were your respective duties? Like, you, what did you
When
do?
I was working with them, I was in the parts department.
Okay, and then what was Nick doing? Yeah,
Everything. Making like 20 hours a
Like
week.
fucking everything. You were a technician.
Yeah, technician.
Everyone here was a
Collaborate.
technician except me, right? Yeah. I was a tech for
you weren't
one
a tech?
year.
I thought this whole time Frankie was a tech, like
No, I-
replacing NV2000 harnoses and shit.
Hell no.
But I don't think you came to Bergenfield as a tech.
No, I was
Those
in
parts.
Hawthorne Nissan was where I was a tech
Oh.
for like a year.
Hawthorne.
Oh, that's when I still didn't know you.
Yeah, no, that was 2012, 11. Something like that.
Yeah, it's the shop that had Bay, and then Bay in
That
front
was-
of Bay in front of Bay.
That was the shop that got in trouble for fucking. I'm just saying whatever because fuck that
I
guy.
mean, that place don't even exist.
Yeah. If you're on the mic, make sure you're on
rule
the
of
mic.
thumb: if be a hog with the mic. If you're gonna grab it, just grab it. Like, get in there.
I like the way you do that.
All right, Eddie. Okay. Okay.
Practice.
Look at this guy.
He got the grip.
Watch the beer, yo.
It's I don't know. It's something to just be mindful.
No,
of.
but this dealership, they were. What was the craziest thing about the dealer? I feel like you know more than I do. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, what
So they
kind of
had-
crazy are we talking here?
So
Allegedly.
they had 2 Nissan dealers and 1 Infiniti dealer, and they were always like getting in trouble for shit. And apparently, they didn't pay the rent for a few months at the Infiniti dealership, bro.
a few months,
Bro, one Saturday, all the techs came to work and the doors were just locked. No one could get in. It was like work was stopped.
Wait, what Infinity? Where?
Englewood.
That's Englewood. Okay. Was that around the same time when all this shit went down with the? Remember when they got caught letting out loaner cars and then people were stealing the loaner cars and like.
Oh no, that
What was that?
This is what I said is after that. But I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, people were taking the loaner cars and doing some like
Weird shit.
illegal activity.
Well, that's like a good idea. What are they
yeah,
renting
yeah.
out 370Zs?
They were. Someone was letting them use the
Not
rental cars
372s,
to like
but,
run
like,
drugs or some shit.
Ultimas and Rogues.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were doing some wild
cars
stuff.
with
this
a
was
good rep.
Hawthorne.
Good rep.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
rep.
that was Hawthorne.
So I heard stories
is
about
gone.
Hawthorne where they were, doing warranty claims.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
we were
like,
there. I was there for that.
And then using like AutoZone parts.
Oh, well, it's worse than that. I mean, well, we all know in the dealership world, smoke, like you smoke. So what that means is like you tell the company that you changed the part, but you don't change the part. This is kind of insider information right now. And the
wonder if
shittier
any-
of a dealership you are at,
The more
the more it's
happens.
going to happen.
I wonder if anybody listening who is a tech, because I'm sure there's a few of you who are techs, boy and girl, fucking that see this shit.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this shit happens still today, and I'm sure it probably fucking
Yeah.
does.
Like I don't want to talk about shit that's going on. Like obviously, if you're at your current job, like don't bring any of that shit up. But
I would say it's still happening, but probably not as bad as the way
They got more ways to track.
when I started.
dude,
Everything.
that's because we were at shitty ass dealerships.
Bro, that dealership I violated Bergenfield bad.
Yeah. Bad. Okay, yo. There's this. Yo.
Yo, I
There
was
is-
for legit
what do you mean?
solid 2 years. I was a rich ass mechanic, to be honest.
Yo,
I was banking every
Tell me
week.
about that 1 week. Were you there for that week?
There was
I just
What's his face comes in, the service
Emilio.
man. Emilio
so there
comes
was
in.
1 week, right? 1 week. Remember, this is smoke. So smoke is you claim a job, but you don't really do the repair. So 1 week, I think I did, quote unquote, I did 3 upper oil pans, 15-hour jobs
In 1 week.
in 1 week.
That wasn't it though.
Yo, I forgot what else I did.
That's
whatever.
for 45-hour week.
No, bro.
So just
That's
chilling.
just the tip of the
chilling.
iceberg.
That's
So-
the tip. Watch how.
That 1 week, whatever, I think it was that same week. I forgot what else I claimed. I supposedly did. Following next week, Emilio at the time, he comes in, the
No,
manager.
dude, what was the total though? What was the total hours?
That's what I'm about to get to. He
Okay.
comes in super happy, and I'm happy as shit because I killed last week. He's like, oh, so Mr. Bryan, you finished with 116 hours. I said, see my paycheck. He goes, how the fuck you finished with 116 hours? I was like,
No. Everyone was there. There was a meeting. He called everyone to the middle. Everyone in the building. And he's like, all right, we got to go over something. Brian, how the fuck did you get 106?
Just like that. He's like, Bryan, how the fuck you finished
we're
with
all
116 hours? I said,
We're all standing there trying not to laugh.
I was like, I was busting my ass, bro. I was working.
He said, I was moving.
I was like, I was moving, I was working. He was just like, and he had like no response after that.
He was pissed.
He was pissed, but
Because he has to explain that to the warranty. What do they call it? Warranty?
The warranty administrators.
Yeah, that like goes around from dealer to dealer.
Yeah,
if,
basically-
if they travel different to dealer, then
Yeah.
you have to explain this to them, like, you have to justify the work
Yeah.
that's getting done. And then even more so, the claim is going to see one sec number. for 50 hours across 2 days. And,
Yeah, I was killing it that week.
Wait,
and
you're telling me
that might raise a red
You're
flag
telling
really
me
quick.
if that car went in there for a fucking upper oil pan or whatever it is that you just said,
No.
that wasn't an evident, like, let me look down here. Whoa, why is this sopping oil?
No, let me
oil
explain
still?
something real quick. A lot of these smoke jobs, if they're warranty, like if you're doing, there's two different. There's warranty and then there's cash, right? Cash is like your car broke, you brought it to the dealer, you got to get it fixed. If you're smoking cash work, that's bad.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
That's
at that
real
point.
bad because
You
then it could come back and whatever.
that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah, usually smoke is warranty and it's fake from the start.
Ah,
That makes it sound a little bit better.
Remember, smoke. That's the magic word in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that upper oil pan was not leaking at all, and all you do is hit
just
it with
smoke and
brake
mirrors. Yeah,
If you hit it with brake clean, I mean,
Yeah.
I was very good at all the transfer case leaks, whether it happened or not.
very good. Meaning what?
Very good. First service, 5,000 miles. Yeah, transfer case is leaking. Easy. I got it fixed in 40 minutes. Have a nice day.
Yeah, but
And that was back. They didn't really check. Like today, it's insane.
so it actually
they
did
put it
change
after.
like
yeah,
over the
a
years?
lot of it
That's what I
changed.
heard.
Oh, okay. So now,
what do you guys do about warranties here?
we don't do no warranty. No, we don't really get too many comebacks, but what is it? 90 days? 90 days labor? And then parts is whatever. I mean, if the part manufacturer wants to warranty something for 2 years, that's on them. But yeah.
The best is when Bryan made all those hours that one week. That was the week he was like, "Yo, you need to come back to Nissan. We're making mad money over here."
Is that when you went back? Oh my
That's when
god!
I went back.
And then everything ended like right. Well, shit got slow.
I mean, it wasn't really bait because we were still smoking out the shop. We was all vaping like crazy. Like, bro, it don't matter
Hotboxing.
what, bro. The writer will come up before he will even talk to the customer. Yo, I got this such and such car coming in. What could we do? It's like he's already giving you homework before he even writes up the ticket.
Yeah, because you got to remember the service writer is going to make money too. So
Everyone's
everyone,
eating
Yeah.
at that point. Parts is eating, selling parts.
yeah,
Tech is eating, doing the job. And the writer is doing it because he's upselling so much work.
and then the dealership goes out of business. I mean,
Well, more like they get audited, and then
Yeah.
Nissan white coats and suits show up to the dealer, and they want to see all the old parts.
yeah.
But I don't think I never seen people.
Hawthorne,
come
it
to
had to happen to Hawthorne, dude.
Not
They
in
were
Bergenfield.
smoking transmissions every day.
Bergenfield. I never seen clean suits, ties, and all this shit.
No, but I think Hawthorne, somebody from Nissan showed up. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and they didn't say they were from Nissan. They were just
A
they showed
customer.
up with a car, a customer. Exactly.
Oh, they got one of those videos.
Yeah,
Oh, they
secret
undercover
shit.
boss to
See,
you?
they undercover
Yeah,
boss.
They
that-
hit you with the sting eye.
That show,
Oh, now
Yeah.
Jesus is here.
that whole show.
Yo, on camera, I beat Bryan's STI.
He said on camera, Jesus beat Bryan's STI. These
Brian,
guys
how do you
have
feel
fast
about
guy
that?
cars.
Like they say in the law, there's no proof that we even raced. So get your little 2-door coupe the shit out of here.
He ran away pretty
I know.
quick.
I know. It's
Yeah.
what usually the others Dominicans do. they talk their shit and
Oh,
run away.
there's different types.
Yeah, there's still different types.
Okay.
Me and him are different.
Okay.
Was this going on at you guys' dealership? The one I was hanging out around?
So it would happen, but it was never really anything major. So for a short period of time, the Murano head gaskets were really popular. Until maybe a year and a half in, the dealership got audited. I mean, I really liked my paychecks during that time.
So what happens during an audit? They come in and they say, "Where are the old head gaskets?"
So,
What?
they
Garbage.
might ask for old head gaskets. They might ask for a history, your repair order history for the past 6 months. Separate your cash and your warranty.
Yeah,
And they'll look at trends, like how often or who's recommending.
yeah. It's pretty easy to get caught when you're doing this shit, honestly, unless you do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because a tech could still be blind and not even know what a head gasket leak could be. And be like, I don't know. This time when I checked it, it needed a head gasket.
Yeah, that's why Nissan created a TSB for leaks specifically. So if you saw just crust on the edges,
It needed
it's not
it.
a leak. A leak is when it hits the ground.
Oh.
What if I
According to
shook the
Nissan.
car really hard?
I mean, if as long as it hits the ground,
Whoa,
It's a
look
leak.
at that.
Damn.
Dude, you know what the greatest spot about, I'm not going to name which Nissan dealer it was because now you're going to have to pick out of these three that we just talked about. But dude, the one at you guys' dealer, not looking at any of us five here specifically, but it was the best place to test the drift car at night.
That's crazy.
You know which spot? You know,
Yeah.
bro, that was the best, dude. And it was like a second from my house.
You mean like behind the building?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean like in the showroom. No. It behind the building. It was perfect, dude.
Yeah, it is a good spot.
Me and Kris learned so much back there. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was going to bring something up. You probably don't want to bring up where you work right now.
No, I mean,
No, you
you
don't
already
wanna do that.
dropped a bunch of names that you guys don't
Well,
work
the
at
only names we
anymore.
really dropped was Hawthorne, and they're out of business. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
So that's
Well,
all right.
Hawthorne and Bergenfield, which is
technically also out of business.
sister stores
Yeah.
at the time, and
all
Infinity
new
Englewood.
management.
Yeah. all new management. So
Oh,
Everett's not there.
But Englewood's
He's
the
still
same
there.
owner.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Everybody else.
Oh, really?
though,
Oh, he's done like completely?
Englewood is a Kia dealership now.
Englewood Infinity. So
So the owner
That guy's
of
gone.
The owner of Bergenfield was Bergenfield,
Yeah.
Hawthorne, and Englewood.
yeah.
Those were all his three.
He's gone.
He's gone. I don't even know.
I didn't
what
know
even
either.
happened.
He live in a
Fucking
I don't know
Finally,
what
bro.
happened to him.
Finally. Wait a minute. But Melvin's still at
But like he said, new management.
okay.
These
But
are
I
just
think
old
like,
bosses
he's-
that rotate around, man. Come on, you know how.
But that's-
Melvin Parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked.
He's
with
still at
us
Englewood.
for a little bit.
But that's the life of
I
a
think
dealership.
I don't know if you were still there.
You
or not.
literally just hop around, and you stay in the same.
Yeah, but you guys have been pretty comfortable for a minute.
Right now,
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
at, yeah.
or is the
I've only been there about is coming up on my second year.
Yeah.
is the tech industry still busy? Like, are you guys seeing like a slowdown in cars and shit? Is that a thing, or is it still busy as fuck?
It's a thing. It does happen, but there's not much you can do. But I feel like it's just what's going on in life. It's nothing. You have no control over it. Flat rate does suck.
Yeah.
I'll tell you straight up, it sucks because if you ain't getting no work coming in, then you literally going home broke.
That's why your job, so that's why their job right now is better than, I mean, I don't know about 17 or whatever before, but I know our situation was fucking trash from Hawthorne, Bergenfield,
Bergenfield
17.
is trash. Yeah.
17 might have been better, but it was still shit. You guys didn't have a guarantee at 17, right?
17 actually did.
You did, but what was it?
Management.
Like, was it
Te-
20 hours? 30
Nah,
hours?
I was guaranteed 40.
Oh, it was? At
Yeah,
17?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So some of
But-
these
Yeah,
dealerships
that's
have
great.
guarantees, like
But
they're going to pay you 40 hours whether you make it or not. Other dealerships don't have that.
That'd be fire. Like, pay me for my 40 hours. Okay.
Yeah, but if you here we go.
Guarantee.
Now you're gonna hear what it sounds like when you don't have a guarantee.
When I went to
Yeah, you can say it.
Bergenfield, I started off as a lube tech hourly. I was like, what, 13 an hour at that time?
Dude, back when minimum
Hold on.
wage, how much was
That's when I
minimum
left?
wage back then?
That's
Yeah,
what you
when
came
you
in
left.
as?
Yeah.
They hired me at 13 an hour hourly.
I would have shot all of them.
It was bad. It was bad.
wait.
It was
When
bad.
was this?
2016.
Okay, so we're hanging out already.
Yeah.
What was minimum wage back then? Like $8? How much was it?
Well, my rate was 12 at Ramsey.
That was minimum.
Yeah. For
Wait,
a
no.
lube tech.
Malcolm, do you mind looking that up? I don't think that was what it was. I think minimum wage was like $8.
I think at that time you're probably right.
Maybe.
Like it was not like, bro. Back then, you could probably buy a Chipotle bowl for like $8. Look, told you. 2016, $8.38.
The fact that it jumped from $8 to fucking what is it now?
What is it now?
14?
I think
What?
15.
Is
I
it
think
Is it that
15?
high?
I think it's 15.
Holy shit!
In fucking what? Like 3 years?
That ain't no 3 years from 16 to 25.
Frankie, that was literally
No,
like-
when did it change?
That was 9 years ago that I just brought up. 2016 was 9 years ago, Pops.
19.
2019,
Okay, so like 2-3 years.
there was gradual increases.
I know it shot up at one point though, pretty fast. It had to have.
There we go. That there's a chart right there. Okay, it says
They just went up $1 every year.
Holy shit, they did.
Yeah, it really would. Wow.
Wow. So you were
Anyways.
lubing for 13.
Yeah. So I was hourly for about 4 months, $13 an hour, and then someone came out. I won't name who. You three know who it is. He came out and was like, all right, we're gonna make you a flat rate tech at 15. All right, no problem. What's the guarantee? We don't got a guarantee right now, but I guarantee you that you'll make at least 30 hours a week.
That's a guarantee.
And I'm like, what? Okay. Probably within
I've been there.
probably within 2 months, I was averaging 15 to 20 hours
What were you driving? The
a
Z?
week. No, I had the Sylvia.
Why don't I remember this?
I
2016.
got fired from Ramsey.
Oh, I do. I remember that.
You worked there right before he got there.
Yeah.
About a year before. How was that experience for
It
you?
was the same. Making barely any money and barely any hours.
Dude, I was averaging about $150 a week.
Yeah.
Back then, that would buy you a horse and a carriage and shit.
You were there too. Remember when management changed? And there was a week that you made like 8 hours, bro.
Oh, but that's when I first started. So when I first got into Bergenfield, which is
No.
yeah, that's
Yeah, there was that week.
my first week. When I was never hourly ever. I don't know what hourly is when I went to FedEx. But when I first got into Bergenfield, it was my first dealership job, and they were down the street in Church Street. First day I start, whatever, I'm working, not knowing shit because I'm new. Week goes by, boom, I get my check. I see my check. That motherfucker says $100. I said, ain't no way I went a whole week and I worked every day and I got $100. Go to my manager. I was like, yes, I think my check is wrong. He goes, what do you mean? I was just like, I only got paid $100. He's like, yeah, you only worked 8 hours. You only produced 8 hours. I was like, but I just started. He goes, yeah. Better luck next week. You better work harder. I said, what?
That's a fight right there.
Nah.
And then ever since that, it was just like flat
surprised-
rate sucks.
I'm surprised you
but
didn't
it
quit
like,
right there.
But it changed who you are because now you're just gonna be hustling for your money. But that was the worst week ever in my life.
Yo, can you,
8 hours.
Malcolm, can you get that video or no? The one I just sent you.
We just talked a lot about the negatives. What is? Give me something funny. Like, bro, remember Rary? What was his name?
Who?
Rary, the karaoke machine dude.
Carrie.
Carrie. Yeah.
Carrie. Young
Like,
boy.
let's talk about that guy, bro. There was a guy.
Filipino bread.
Yeah, there was a guy at Kris and Eddie's dealer. Okay,
That's my uncle.
He knew how to have fun, bro. He opened the door right in the roof, chandelier. Wasn't it? There was a
It was like a
chandelier.
2002 Pathfinder.
Yeah, there was a chandelier, boom, right in the dome.
Karaoke
and
system.
Karaoke machine.
This was inside the dealership?
Yeah. They knew how to have fun over there. It's not
Yeah.
all bad. Like some of the funny shit that I remember about the
Oh, no,
dealership
there's
when you
a
were
lot
there,
of funny things.
there was so much funny shit going on. Alex was working at the
Alex,
dealer too.
yeah.
That was funny as fuck, dude. That was one of my first fiberglass repairs was in that dealership.
Bro, me and Eddie used to jam.
Yeah, dude, for
Yeah,
sure.
we
The
used to put
Kris,
the
that was when the
jams
Kris
on.
playlist originated, dude.
Yeah. Redbone.
We jammed
Redbone, yeah.
in Bergenfield. You can even ask Frankie.
Dude.
With
That shit was
I'm gonna have to just say,
Yeah,
I don't think
Massie.
it's gonna matter. But with Massie, I think me and Massie had a dance battle every single day at work with Michael Jackson music all day. It was just
Who the fuck is Massie?
He'll
I'll
come. He was
show
the
you.
shop foreman of Bergenfield.
Okay.
of the shop. He
Hell
was
yeah.
old cat, old dude. But like he had like our mindset somehow.
Yeah.
He had our vocabulary, talk like us and everything. So it just felt comfortable.
Yeah.
But this guy was
Massey,
a clown,
Massey
bro.
changed my fucking life, honestly.
That's Nick's
like-
best friend.
Exactly. Some of us hate him, some of us love him, but
I don't hate him.
you hated him for a minute. But
I think hate's a
yeah.
understatement.
That is a strong term.
All right, here's a video of Nick when he was in the middle of making no fucking money.
That was me after the Christmas party. Hung over so bad. I was
Dude,
like,
you
I
look
don't
like
want
you're
to
going
be
through
here
a
right now.
Dude, look at the Pedialyte on the desk. Look at the Pedialyte on the desk. The right boot is untied. You're not ready to do nothing.
Malcolm, the bottom one I just sent you.
I remember getting into a car at like 12 o'clock,
Yo, Nick.
taking a nap, and then getting sent home.
He's asking for change.
That's flat rate.
That kind of looked like me for a hot second. That was really scary.
That was when Miyagi was working there. Yeah. The second, that's Massie right
So
there.
this is Massie. He's the one that ran the shop.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey. Hey.
We got moves. He's got moves. He got him from me. Teaching the guy.
What the
This
fuck?
was Bergenfield. I mean, yeah, this was Bergenfield.
This is every day.
Every day.
This looks like my actual
That's why I
uncle.
was so entertained.
Bro, if you have someone in the shop like that, it makes the job. That's one of my most fun jobs I ever had.
There you go. There you go.
moonwalk.
There you go.
Damn.
My boy got shacks on him.
Head shinier than the sun. God damn.
Dude,
Oh my god.
that was
The most fun you'll have is when you're not working.
which is pretty much every week there.
Which
Yeah,
is
it sounded
every
like a
minute
majority of the
you're
days
there.
it was like that.
Yeah.
Every minute you're there, you were just not really working.
As long as you have someone in the shop that's funny, the best days of the dealership are going to be the 2 years before they go out of business. That's going to be the most fun you have.
Fuck. Ain't that is actually probably true as hell.
It kind of is. Like,
What's another thing that we was do?
and then we went to another dealership and they went out of business too. Maybe it's us.
But change of name that time you're talking about.
Yeah, but technically they went out of business.
We went to AutoAnton,
Yeah.
and then but that was ran by some.
Okay, so the situation with that was
It was like some Chapo people.
yeah, like these guys from somewhere in South America, Ecuador, owned or they wanted to own a Nissan factory, a production factory.
And
In order to do that, they needed to own dealerships. Nissan wanted them to own dealerships. So they owned, I don't know if I should say them, but whatever, Route 17, the one in Hackensack, and they owned Englewood Cliffs. That's not even there anymore. And those were their three dealerships. So basically, they own these dealerships, and they don't give a fuck about them. They just care about their factory. So they don't even like...
They didn't care.
They don't give a fuck
about anybody that was in that building or those buildings.
It's like when they make a homologation car. They don't care if it's a piece of shit. They're literally just trying to make a fucking race car.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like.
Okay, yeah.
And those dealerships just fell one by one.
It was bad. I think for a solid 3 months, I'll say 4 months, there was no brand new car on the lot. It was just you pull up to work, drive to work. You could park on the lot where new cars will be at, and it's just empty lot and just a shop.
Remember, Nick, they move us around?
They literally just didn't care.
They moved us to the fucking Hackensack.
No, first I went to Englewood Cliffs. There was one tech working there, one master tech. They sent me over there to help him, and I was still on flat rate, bro. And
Take his mic. But
disgusting.
then they sent me there too at one point because there was no one in parts. They were running a dealership with no one in the parts department.
it was a dungeon.
I don't know if you were there the same time I was.
No, I was sent to Hackensack.
Okay, so then you went to Hackensack. Then I went there, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was just no one in there. And I'm just like, how are we supposed to work? And then there's one technician, and like once in a while, an old lady would come in for an oil change, and that's
Yeah.
it.
It would be all their old customers because
change
they would change the phone. No, they changed the phone number, and then all the customers didn't know that they were open. So it would be just the customers that used to just show up from back in the day were the only customers.
And the
that-
dealership part, the front of the building was completely empty.
yeah,
There was
It
nothing. They were just
empty.
selling
It
no
looked like a
cars.
closed business. It was crazy.
It looked like a garage. Like it was just,
That's insane. I think I remember this time because we were getting a lot of overflow from
really?
other dealers that had closed down or
Yeah, it's
you
probably
know,
that
they
time.
lost their ability to do warranty work.
Oh.
And it was just we were just getting the bottom of the barrel work.
yeah.
Just
All the
you know,
stuff no
just
one else
all
wanted to
your
do.
noise complaints and just ridiculous things.
Then me and you worked at Hackensack together, and it was bad.
I have the video of the shop being completely empty and Frankie hanging himself in parts.
He's like going around the whole shop, nothing's in the shop, then he gets to the parts department, and I'm just fucking hanging by a noose. No, but and they try to unionize that shop right at the end.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
They try to unionize it right at the end.
They're like, oh yeah, the people for the union. We went out to dinner with them, and they're like, yeah, don't worry, we've never seen anything crazy where they'll like sell the dealership or anything. They try to unionize it. They sold the dealership.
In the middle of them doing that, they sold the dealers because
was
they were
crazy.
basically just trying to sell all three of those dealers.
But that happened with AutoAnton before it went to 17. We were getting approached
Yeah.
in the parking lot
Yeah, they were trying to do all of them. Yeah,
Literally
which was just
approaches,
two, but,
you know, don't tell nobody we're talking to you guys, but yeah, we're trying to come in here and unionize this whole thing, and I'm like,
But you already
I just didn't talk.
you already had a guarantee though.
They got
But I had,
HR
like,
meetings
yeah,
about
exactly.
that. They're like, hey, you can say no to unionizing people, and then it's like a little video, and it's like, hey, join our union. No, and then the lady like turns around in the little demonstration video. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's like the worst.
To be honest, I feel like in that situation, there's no reason to unionize if you have a guarantee. But maybe there is, because you're gonna pay union dues and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
I feel like
What do you have to
just
do,
end up
like a quart of
losing
blood?
money.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Nick, you did it.
I think that's the reason why we all were just against it. We were like,
Send it
we're
to
good.
me.
We got
Or you can't?
guaranteed 40. Like, even if we're slow or not even getting a car, 5 cars out of the week, I can care less. I'm still going home with a 40-hour check. It's not my fault. Motherfuckers don't want to come in and service their cars, or the shop is going down, or they're getting sold, or they're getting sued, or who knows, whatever the case may be.
Crazy times.
Yeah, that sounds like hell, bro. I don't know if I can do that.
Bro, we were just trying to fix people's cars.
Every day.
Every day. Just trying to do the right thing, and we were just getting screwed.
I feel like you were always trying to do the right thing, and then someone would just come and be like, yo, you got to smoke this job. You got to smoke this whole fucking thing. And you're
just
like,
wanna
Nick's
fix
like,
this
I just
car."
want to fix the car correctly. And they're like, no, you can't. There's no money. You gotta rob people. Like, it was just
At
so
gunpoint.
fucked up. This was our dealer during the middle of the day.
Wow.
That's-
I could skateboard in there.
I don't think I've ever seen a completely empty shop.
It wasn't the one with me. It was a different one, I think.
Dude, an in-ground alignment rack?
Yeah. You did do alignments there, but not that all. Yeah, that was that much.
That's the kid that made his own AC.
That's the kid that would tell me I was,
You need Jesus.
yeah, I need Jesus because I watched fucking superhero movie or something.
Oh. Thought it was porn. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like you watch Batman, he's like, you can't be watching that. You can't. Batman is imitating God. I was like, okay. I just was trying to have fun, but all right.
What were you guys all driving? You had the Sentra, Eddie? Was that? No, you had the Skyline already.
I think I got the Skyline right before Kris left.
Ah, okay. But it was Sentra Nation still for you?
I think I had like a newish Maxima.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Maxima.
I had a newish Maxima, and then
Yes, 17.
bought like a salvage title Sentra after that.
What about y'all? What did you guys drive while you guys were working together? Because Frankie had. Did you bring the? Did you
I
ever
had a
bring
Nissan 240 SX.
Yeah, did you ever bring the D car to work?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
That's what got me into drifting.
Yeah, but you didn't drift yet because you don't want to break your car.
Fair enough.
I think I was Dominican as Dominican can get. I was driving a Camry.
Oh damn! I was
I was,
CB7 Accord
tinted
CRV.
out, about to get music, and doing all the extra Dominican activities.
Hookah?
Stuff. No, mine is the hookah stuff.
No,
I
no
was
hookah.
into hookah heavy at that time.
Dude,
That was mandatory in that era.
That was like a hookah wave, bro. Dude, Kris used to do the craziest tricks with that shit, bro.
But
Blowing smoke.
Yo, no, I swear to God, Kris would be fucking, fucking like, whoa.
Hairbender.
Yeah, airbender. That shit was cool. Or Kris would always do this thing. Kris would
Oh
do this.
yeah, at Ramsey during the winter when it's dead slow, I'm just fucking walking around just.
Yeah, dude, he would blow these O's and just go like, oh, and then you're like, get that away from me. Like, what are we doing here?
Chris knew not to bring that shit here.
Yeah, yeah, you go over here casting spells on Frankie and
You
shit.
gotta send them that video.
What is
Wait,
this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll send it.
Dude, this has been interesting. I can't believe
You got any questions for these
you
technicians?
guys were all techs. Do I have any questions?
like about the life?
Yeah. Why does the oil travels through the whole shop? Like you could just go up there to that little filler thing. That shit was crazy to me. I was
You mean
this-
like the air knob?
This thing
the oil?
dispenses. Dude, there was this thing, and Kris would walk up to it when he's doing oil changes, and he would literally
Yeah.
just get the oil from the ceiling. It was crazy,
from the ceiling.
Yeah, you pull this lever and
Came
just-
from
dude.
Yeah.
Like it was like,
Yeah, we got that coming next week. No.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit is cool.
It's cool as hell.
Delivery system. One day at Ramsey,
I already know
You
where
know.
this is going.
everyone gets oil at the same place, and it's like this 1/4-inch pipe. It disappears into the ceiling, 30 feet to the left, 40 feet to the right. And it's pretty much held up with like duct tape and zip ties. And somebody's getting oiled, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's no more oil coming out. And everyone's looking at the pump like, what's going on? Meanwhile, 2 bays over, there's a car completely covered in oil. Just pouring all over. And the tank is pressurized with air. So all, 3, 4, 500 gallons of oil are just pouring all over this car.
Oh my God, dude.
And we're all mad scrambling to the back of the tank to shut off the air supply. But
wait, it's coming from the ceiling and just dropping on it?
It's coming from the ceiling and just dropping onto it.
Oh my God.
It's raining oil on this car.
Is that car totaled?
And then, no, it was just completely kept quiet. But then when we get to the air supply for the tank, there's no separate air supply for that single tank. So you just have to cut off the compressor to the entire shop.
So everyone's just on battery power and hand tools for the rest of the day. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't
There's
wait.
No oil changes.
And you guys just wash the car and bring it outside.
It got sent to detail.
Oh, yeah. Give it
Send it to the detail.
You're a detailer. That oil-covered thing comes into your bay. Oh, my God.
Why does it smell like 0W20 in this
Let me
business?
just ruin all of my tools or whatever on this
Did you
thing.
guys do the oil change inside the car? Or like
Let me guess that car was a waiter.
They were absolutely waiting.
What was the explanation?
So I don't think they ever told the customer that, other than, hey,
We cleaned your car.
We
Your car was
cleaned the
there.
car. We're gonna detail the car. We had a little incident.
I found 2 leaves on your car and I gave you a car wash.
They
Hey, I just want to let you know, we did you a solid. We washed your car. We actually detailed it.
You know that little window in your office? I'm picturing the customer just sitting there,
watching
right?
it.
Doo, 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 doo,
That's the best part about that dealership. There's no
and
fucking
then
window.
behind
no,
it,
there was windows, but the windows all faced my bay where I was working.
Nice.
So everyone just had a clear view of what I was doing. And I'd always have fun with it. I'd sometimes just look at the car and just shrug my shoulders like, I don't know what's going on here.
The best part
the
of
person watching, oh my God, oh my God.
the best part of your shop, every time I would go to pick up parts, it's just the alignment rack is right in the front. And the fucking sticker on the alignment rack is just the guy from Mr. D's with the crazy eyes.
Oh, no, I put that there.
It says, looks good to me.
No, I put that there, and it drove the manager crazy for like a week because he kept tearing it down. I just print another one and stick it right back on.
Dude, that was so bad. That's like the
It took-
first thing a customer sees.
I think it took about a week for him to just give up.
Yeah.
Because
No, I was there every
wasn't
time I
gonna back
went.
down. I just kept putting a new one back on there.
We had an oil story too at Bergenfield.
Oh,
Giuseppe.
you
Yeah.
all know this.
Yo, do you have that video? Brian, one of you had something where you walk in.
I wasn't working there.
Oh, you weren't?
No, not when that
Okay.
happened.
I think I was too busy
Someone has, there's
name dropping the shit out of him. It was so bad. So in 17, we had these, I don't know,
waste oil.
I don't know, I guess AutoZone or Harbor Freight waste oil. So you had to like close the top off, put an airline to it, and it'll pump out.
Oh,
So
no.
my man goes, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go drain, empty the tank out. He goes, doesn't close anything. Just straight air hose to it. Boom. Air hose. Bro, the rod where you catch the oil just shoots up to the ceiling. Shoots up. Yo, and just oil just shooting up. It's everywhere. And we all turn around.
And he's just standing there.
And then I forgot what Massie said. Massie said something that he always says.
Motherfucker.
Bro, I have no idea. Bro, we just turn around and my man is completely black. Yo, he didn't move. He just stood there. Like, he just stood there. Boom, pumped it. Oil went up. He's looking at it, raining on him. Looks at us.
Looks around.
Looks around and just looks at the tank. And I'm like, you could disconnect the airline so it can stop. Yo, so there's like the back of the lot. There was like a garage for, I guess, storage, but we didn't use it for like loading or anything. Bro, the ceiling, the wall, the floor, it's just oil everywhere.
Bro, I walk in.
God.
It gets to a point. Hold on. He gets to a point. He's drenched, so drenched. His shirt is drenched. He said, "Why not? Let me take off my." Takes off his shirt, and it's just big old belly, fucking rinsing his shirt with oil and everything. I'm just like, ain't no way, bro. You did this. It was pretty bad.
Dude, I walk in. They were there earlier than me. I walk in that door. I walk in from the back. I get in. I go. And I look, and it's just Giuseppe covered in oil like this, looking at me.
Like my man.
I'm like, the fuck did you do? And he's like, I fucked up. I'm like, that kid he was so weird. Like, he didn't say anything. He was always silent.
Yeah, he was one of a kind.
Yeah. And I just look at him and he's just like naked, covered in oil.
Yo, no shirt, black.
This is the first thing you see when you walk into work.
The light skinned kid, but there was no light skin in that.
Oh my God.
What's those tanks? How much oils do those tank hold?
He probably had like what we have. It's probably a fucking like
5 gallons.
no, like
No,
400 fucking.
No,
you mean the little one?
It was
The
the
small
red,
caddies?
It was
Yeah.
the red one, like a little red one.
The little caddies, yeah, they're probably like maybe
Freight one.
30, 40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a whole 30
Quarts.
Yeah.
That
gallon
whole
oil
thing.
on him.
Oh,
Everywhere.
my God.
On him, ceiling and wall.
The
and
ceiling.
floor.
It was on the ceiling. The ceilings are tall as fuck in there.
It was high ceilings. I'm telling you, it shot up. It shot the rod up,
all over
and then
the
oil
ceiling.
just shot up. It looked like a fountain of black oil.
Yeah.
Just a fountain of black oil just shooting everywhere.
I walk in, it's just everywhere, all over the walls, the floor. I'm like, what the fuck happened? God, that was great.
Bro, at Ramsey, remember the big caddies, right?
Yeah.
There's a quick disconnect. You don't have to shut a valve or anything. You just, but then you turn the lever because it sucks it out. There was no level on the tank. You know how the big waste oil tank. So you know how many times people, because you connect it, you hit the lever, and then you walk away and go do something. You know how many times people have overflowed that tank, and then you walk in the back of the shop, it's just a lake. And that was Eddie's bay. It was Eddie's
for
bay.
a short time, my bays were back there by that waste oil tank, and there'd be no sound, no audible sound or anything like that. I would just turn around to walk away, and it was just oil
We're taking on
everywhere.
oil.
We're taking on oil.
Yo, what?
Exactly.
What happened at 17 that time where we went to the back room and there's shit blowing up? What was that? Do you remember that? It was definitely in the shop of 17. I guess a compressor blew?
Nah, that was
What was going on in there?
when the whole shop flooded. You talking about?
Yeah. Maybe it was
my
a.
first.
So we had a rider.
It was your first day.
we had a rider, right? I guess he was Portuguese or Brazilian. New to the whole being a service rider. I don't know what made him come grab pliers or some shit. So he grabs pliers from me. I think my toolbox was there. He said, "Oh, you got any pliers?" I was just like, "Yeah, sure." Well, I was like, "What do you need?" He's like, "Oh, just regular pliers." Grabs it, goes into the bathroom. I'm like, "Huh?" So that already blew me. It was confused. He goes in with pliers. Next thing you know, he comes out. He's drenched in water. I'm like, "Bro, what just happened?" I popped the door open. He broke the sprinklers. Bro, the sprinkler broke. It broke. So he's spraying water all in the bathroom. So he comes out. He can't even see me. Just soaked. And he's like, the sprinkler broke. And he's handing me my pliers like this. And I'm like, bro, what the hell did you just do? And then the shop foreman at the time, he had to go in there. Yeah, he threw on goggles and he tried to turn it off. And if you don't know, when the sprinkler goes off, there's no stopping it until everything clears out.
Oh
Water
my God.
kept on. We had like probably a couple inches of water in the whole shop. It looked like a pool. It was 17, Route 17, Hasbrook Heights pool.
It's gonna
It was bad. It was bad.
That was my first day. And they're
Oh
like,
my
thanks for helping
goodness.
us clean up the flood.
You brought this here. Get out.
Oh my God, dude.
And I was on flat rate too.
I give him, E for effort. He tried to go out of his category of working on things and touch the sprinkler.
You said you
Bruh.
saw him go in the bathroom with a pair of pliers.
But the worst thing, he asked me for pliers. I'm thinking he's gonna go back up front, maybe take a license plate or something off. He popped the U-turn and went into the bathroom.
You have
And I'm
to-
like, I hope you're not gonna like kill yourself or something, bro. And then I'm responsible for it.
Pliers is not my choice of tool for
Brian.
that.
way
He
to go.
goes in, comes out, and he's
Brian.
eyes closed. Yeah, the sprinkler broke. I'm like, what? Open the door. I closed the door right back. I was like, I ain't going in.
The fact that he grabbed them from you, dead face, and didn't say anything. And meanwhile,
I'm
the
like, bro,
fucking
this
sprinklers.
doesn't even make any sense. You were fine. And the whole shop was fine. Just 2 seconds ago, you go in there and you don't know until you literally open that door. You swing the door open, it's just white and it's just water going everywhere. And that's some stank ass water.
That's the situation where you close the door, you see the chaos, or you open the door, you see the chaos, and you just close it and like.
I'm going back to my bed, going back to what I was doing. Exactly.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, Malcolm's
bro.
got a video of it. The last one.
Oh my goodness.
You can see the door just creeping.
Yo, what is he doing?
He's inhaling dirty ass water.
That's his first day. Oh man.
Slowly closing the door. Oh my goodness, bro.
With the goggles.
You gotta
He's
brace
looking like
yourself.
Scuba Steve.
You gotta brace yourself.
And that's our locker room, bro. That's the bathroom and the locker room.
So hard left behind that door is the locker room. Is where we got dressed, where our uniforms are at. We keep our shoes and all that. Yeah, so much for that.
I'm just picturing this dude calmly walking up to Bryan. Yo, you got pliers of any sort? Oh yeah, what kind you need? Oh, anything. Yeah.
So I had some needle nose.
He just walks
needle nose
back.
pliers, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, here, take them." He's like, "Okay," and then I'm thinking he's gonna cross in front of me because my toolbox literally was where everybody was recording at. So I'm thinking he's gonna go back to the front. No, he went through that door, and I'm like, so I literally look at him, and I'm like, strange. So I keep working on the car, and then I'm telling you, it was no matter more than 10 seconds. He comes back out, and he's just drenched and eyes closed, and handing me my pliers back, and I'm like, what just happened? Me pushing the door open, I said, oh shit, let it go, and I was just like, yo, there's a mess in that bathroom, and that's when the shop foreman went in at that time.
It's like I'm on flat rate. I'm not getting paid for that.
Yeah, no. That's the bad part. That's another bad part about flat rate. You pay your technicians flat rate. They ain't doing shit else.
How come you've not posted on social media? That would go viral.
Yeah, you really should be posting that shit.
But there's a lot. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I feel there's a lot of videos that we got that we can post.
You know, we should make
Dude,
an
we have
Instagram
so
called
many videos.
called some funny word about
fails.
dealership. Yeah, something like that.
Dealership memes.
Yeah.
The best is all the videos we have are like none of them of us working on cars.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not a single one.
Not a single one working on cars. Like, I think maybe there's a video, one video of me working on a car. I was like standing in the engine bay of a Murano. Like,
No engineer.
yeah, that was your video.
Oh my god.
I wish we had all the videos, but because
Dude, I gotta go back.
there's the oil one.
The best
There's a
is-
lot of them.
The best is the dealerships we work at is like where the most like messed up things would happen.
Like the cars.
Like just like the oil example, like the oil shooting up to the ceiling, just like the most messed up things you'll
Yo.
ever see in a dealership.
Give me another one.
I'll give you another one.
I got one. I got
Okay,
one.
let Chris
Go
go.
for it.
Yo, it was my 4th month at Bergenfield. Massie and Rocco. What's the the sensor thing in front of the Rogue Sport for people who are walking? ADAS or whatever, the radar. You know it's supposed to auto brake when someone's walking in front of you because it's supposed to
Oh,
detect the
no.
person.
No,
Bro.
Nick's got a story too.
Oh my god.
I don't remember.
You know the size of the shop, right?
17.
No.
I mean,
Bergenfield,
yes.
right? Rocco is going like full speed down the shop. There's who was the service writer? Mike. He walked past, but then the brake thing wasn't working. They had just this big cardboard. And Rocco just punted across the and the customer is in the waiting room.
Oh my goodness.
Bro.
I thought you were gonna say you hit Mike.
I thought it hit Mike. I thought he hit
Oh,
Mike.
you got close. I have a video somewhere about
I
it.
remember them doing the ADAS shit before they really because the dealership was so poor that they wouldn't buy the correct equipment. So they just be like, yeah, just set up the fucking mirror and then just be setting shit up like Haggard.
But I think you're crazier if you actually trust that and you're gonna stand in front of the car
That's
behind
crazy.
the car.
Yeah.
Ain't
I
no
would
way I'm
never-
standing or
I
in
would
front
never
or
You're
try
behind the
and
car.
crazy.
it that way.
I'm doing that to catch a lawsuit. I'm doing that to catch a bag, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you ain't catching no back at the dealership. You just getting smacked
Yeah.
by a car.
Across the place.
Definitely ain't getting no money.
It's true.
Nick, what happened that one time with Massie?
Didn't you smack someone?
No way. No way. No way Nick had a pet.
Chris this shit right now.
No way he hit a pedestrian.
It wasn't the pedestrian. It was the shop foreman.
Oh, good. Keep it in the family. Keep it in the family.
Yeah, there we go. Oh fuck, it's too funny. I'm reversing a Frontier, and Massie would just be on his Massie would just be on his phone, just zoned out, bro. He's in the middle of the shop, just standing there, and the car had no reverse camera, and he's short. I couldn't see him, bro. I'm just reversing, bro. I hit him. I thought I'm in a Frontier. I thought I hit an Altima, bro. That's how hard it was. I get out of the car. I'm expecting the car to be damaged. He's on the floor screaming, bro.
He sent them a couple feet.
Yo, he went blind, bro. They said I turned like I'm white. They said I turned like super white after that. Bro. I was like, oh, I hit someone with a car.
He sent them a couple feet when he backed.
So you saw it happen?
I didn't see. I see him reversing. I didn't even see Massie in the middle of the shop. But it's also Massie's fault for being
In the middle of the shop.
Why you gonna text in the middle of a shop and you're just gonna stand there and yeah, I love this bitch, that shit. And then you're gonna end up getting smacked by a Frontier by Nick. Bro, he just launched forward and I was just like, oh shit. And then all you see is Nick come out. Are you okay?
That's the right thing to ask.
He just turned into like a ghost. He was just.
I was like, I am so fucked. I'm so fired.
I was like, oh fuck. And of course, me, everything's a joke for me. I'm laughing hard as fuck. And then in the back of me, just like, yo, Massie, you're an idiot. Why are you in the middle of the shop? And what's happening? It's a Frontier, bro. You got smacked by the bumper and the bed. You just got launched.
I'm picturing like
That's
the
a
hardest
metal
like
bumper too.
Yeah.
so then it's like an actual BAM! Like
Yeah.
it's like that energy.
Bro, it felt like I hit an Altima. Like I thought I got up on the hood of an Altima with the pickup truck.
That's
It was that's what it felt like in the truck.
So you ran
Just a
him
person.
over?
That's what humans feel like then when you smack them with a car.
Yeah, I can't relate. I've never hit anybody with a car. Thank God.
Yo,
think you want
Thank
to.
God.
that was before I was there, I think. I don't think I saw it. Yeah. So then this was after you were gone, I think. You remember when that tall, lanky dude.
I already knew where we were going with the break job.
Oh, you were there. Yeah, I know.
Wait, no, he wasn't there.
No, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because he used to come and hang out at our shop too.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, and it's better we not even mention him because
He's been around. I've seen him around.
So it was
But,
a tall dude. I think he was doing what was it? Brakes on a FX.
He was doing brakes. So he's on a lift.
This is an Infinity too.
And he's doing brakes on an Infinity.
Yeah.
He's a new tech, by the way. Does the whole brake job. Lowers the car down.
Just give him a structure of, so it's almost towards the end. So it's a lift, and then the alignment rack's behind, and then there's a brake machine there.
Yeah, this is a terrible location. There's a
bad.
lift
A
on
brake
one side of the
lane?
wall,
Yeah.
on one side of the room, and then there's an alignment rack on the other side of the room. So it's like real tight to get out. And the lathe is right there too, and a wall. There's literally a corner of a wall and the alignment rack, and then his lift on the other side.
Yeah.
So he finishes his brake job, jumps in the car, starts it up, and hits the gas. Goes back, hits the brakes, goes straight to the floor, just rams into the building, and the lathe, and everything.
He just smacked everything. It was the wall, the brake light, everything.
Dude,
and
I'm in the-
Massie goes, what the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. And I'm just like,
Dude, I'm in the parts department. I'm sitting down. I'm looking at Melvin's next to me at the computer. You just hear, boom! The whole building shakes, and I go, "What the fuck was that?" And Massie goes, and Melvin goes, "Someone's gonna get fired." And he's still typing, and he goes, "Someone's gonna get fired." I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I go outside, and the car's fucked. Quarter panel's fucked. Everything's fucked.
That car got totaled.
tail light.
And that was a waiter.
It was a waiter. It
was a waiter.
was a waiter.
That was a waiter.
Getting a brake job waiter.
You're a waiter, and then you hear your car hit the building.
No, the worst is I really want to be there when a rider got to tell a customer
Yes.
what happens.
That's
Like, so yeah, we're
You
doing your
don't-
brakes.
you don't wanna be there.
No, I want to be there. I mean, I want to be
As
there.
a third party,
Yeah.
I would love to be there.
And you probably had to be there a bunch of times.
I had to be there because I ran the shop.
Yeah, you've been a foreman.
Yeah.
Technically, you kind of are one right now.
Yeah,
So.
I guess depending on the day of the week.
Yeah.
Depending on the day of the week.
Literally, it depends on the day of the week.
So you probably had to deal with this shit.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I had it was one of the worst weeks of being a foreman, where I had one tech, and when I became a foreman, not too long before that, a bunch of techs, they switched careers. Some of them retired, so they just grabbed lube techs from all the other store locations and put them in our store and said, "Hey, this is your crew. You need to make them exactly like you."
Oh,
and I
good
said,
luck.
"Thanks, guys. Thank you for that." And a couple months after the fact, this 1 week just happens, and this one tech is working on an Altima, and he's just doing routine rear brakes. And I don't know how he set up the lift because it's not his first time. He's already been working on cars for years. Front end of this Altima just falls over.
No.
Onto the ground.
Oh my god.
Just hits the ground. And I'm running across the shop to make sure that he's not under it. He's standing at the back of the brake lathe, and he's just looking across the shop like, oh.
Oh my goodness.
And then 2 days after that,
I'm sorry.
one of the quick lube guys is pulling in a car, and I've constantly yelled at them to slow down, because when you pull into the shop, it's kind of blind. Especially with they have the wash bays on one side, the alignment rack right in front,
Slippery
and you
as
have
fuck
people,
right there.
and you have people that might be hitting the left out the building. He comes flying in. The guy washing the cars is backing the car out. Boom,
Smacks.
both of them. Oh, front end of this car, rear end of that car.
That was a good week at work.
That's when I come in.
It gets better. There's just one more incident where I'm working on the Titan on my lift, and I kind of have it braced with a pole jack just to keep it balanced. And there's one of the quick lube guys. He's backing an Armada out, and I hear it hit the back of the Titan, and I'm like, "Yo, you got no more room." That doesn't stop him. He just keeps going. The Titan falls forward.
No.
Oh my
Hits
god.
my toolbox.
No.
I'm running because I was working on the Titan at the time. I'm running across to get out the way. The roof of the Armada, the back glass, the front bumper, side rail.
I feel like I heard about this. Two
of the
cars
Titan.
falling off lifts
Yeah.
in 1 week.
Yeah, that was a very expensive week.
What happened? Who pays for that? You paid for
The
that?
dealership.
You bought an Armada? Oh, okay.
You bought an Armada?
No, what happens is, as a foreman, you get paid off of production and gross profit.
So you ain't getting that money.
There was no profit that month.
Yeah. So were you there when they had to tell the customers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had to be there. I had to be there to speak with the customer.
What was the first one like?
As
He came in for a brake job.
So the first person, they were really understanding, and I was really surprised by. And I just wanted to fix their car right, give them whatever the.
How could you even fix? Like, what was it fucked or was it not even that bad?
So it definitely needed a front bumper, headlight, both side doors, skirt.
Damn.
Yeah, that one hit the ground. The other two cars just minimal, a bumper, a front bumper on one, a rear bumper on the other. One of those customers definitely took advantage of it, and he had me fixing the front end of his car as well.
I would be doing the same shit.
Yeah, and then the other person that was really upset was the Titan owner.
Yeah.
Because, it was a really new Titan.
Probably a $70,000 truck.
Yeah.
Imagine it's the Cummins one.
It probably was.
No, it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't. But it was a fully loaded, every option checked off.
It's like a $4,000 truck now. Relax.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Fuck. It is a fucking Titan.
And it's like, well, sorry. So your step rails, they're on back order, and we don't know when we're going to get them.
Yeah.
As is this door that's, your rear door.
The fact that you guys had two cars fall off the lifts
Yeah.
in 1 week is pretty nuts.
Thank God I never experienced that.
Yeah, me too.
I've never dropped the car off a lift, and,
I don't want to even be there. That shit just got to be crazy.
it's careless.
Like, I'd rather see, oil shot up to the ceiling or someone backing up into a wall and
Get on that
not
mic.
pumping the brake.
As long as it's
Not
not
pumping
me.
the brake. It's insane.
Yo, how many times did a quick lube forget with an oil filter?
Oh, plenty of times.
Always.
Plenty of times. They would start the car, and sometimes they would back it out 2-3 feet before stopping. And it would just be oil everywhere.
I think Miyagi did that once.
I think he
Bro,
did.
I forgot. I don't know who it was, and I'm not gonna name him, but they forgot to put a filter on.
Call me Miyagi right now.
They backed out of the bay
They drove right over
and
oil.
drove out to the lot,
Yeah.
and there was a track of oil the whole way. This motherfucker drove it back with
my-
no oil.
That's like you got to hear it. I
you're on
think
the
when you turn
podcast,
in the wheel or something.
They said there's
You're on the
your
podcast
low
right
oil
now.
pressure light comes on immediately.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Hold up. We're just talking about the dealership life and everything that was going on. Do you remember doing an oil change and forgetting to put oil filter on or something? Oh no, it was the.
Yeah.
Can you tell us that story?
I don't even remember what it was. It was like a day where there's like a ton of fucking cars in and out, and they had it just fucking pumping it out. And then one car just forgot to fucking. I think it was just a drain plug. I think I literally. I forgot to put the drain plug in.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
I dropped the car and I just started pouring oil in. I'm like, still fucking empty. All right. And the next thing you know, it's all coming out.
Okay, that's what it was. So you didn't drive it.
No, I don't think I ever left.
Dude, we're talking to Eddie here. Eddie said he had 2 cars fall off the lifts in 1 week.
In 1 week? Yeah. That's a bad week.
It's a bad week, bro.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see you later.
Hi, Miyagi.
Do the,
What?
Remember the lug nuts? I forgot to tighten the lug nuts on one car.
How'd that go?
It came right back.
Yeah,
The car's fucking wobbling.
Oh, I did that.
But you remember the dude that looked like Ronnie King? Old guy?
That was the same day though. That was the same day.
What's the
Oh,
commentator?
as the
boxer.
as the Rodney King. As the oil pan.
Yeah,
So there was
that the same day.
I don't even know.
All right, we
how
got
old,
it.
I don't know how old this guy was. I'll say late 60s.
Yeah, we talked about that.
50s, late 50s, late 60s. He was a tech.
I know who you're talking about.
He was a tech. So this guy does, I think, no, he only wasn't no master
the
tech.
other guy.
Ain't no way he was the master tech. It just ain't no way. But you remember him.
Who?
Old guy, old tech that we hired at Bergenfield. He looked like Ronnie King. Yo, straight afro, silver hair, whatever.
I don't think I remember that.
You had to be there.
Okay,
Ain't no
give me
way.
a story.
Simple. It's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I think he did an oil change and rotate, and he did the rotate. And I think it was a Rogue or something. Whatever. Car leaves. Doesn't even leave for like more than 5 minutes. Customers calling. Yeah, my wheel just went flying.
Oh my god.
And they're like, okay, you know, we're gonna send you a tow truck to get it back. Same time that's happening, the owner's coming in. He's coming in with his, his Bentley, hot shit.
Oh, the
boom,
actual owner of the
parts it.
dealership.
Yeah, the actual owner.
Yeah.
Pulls in hot
Oh
shit.
my god.
And the customer's going crazy. That's when the tow truck pulls up.
I remember that
And then
day.
he grabs Massie, the shop foreman at the time, pulls him over to the side, and he asks him, so who was it that did it? And they don't even point fingers, but I can like communicate with my eyes. And then I see Massie turn and goes, nods his head. He goes, all right. Walks up to him. He's like, get the fuck out of my dealer. He's like, sir, get the fuck out of my dealer. And I'm just like, oh. Bro, I think it was a truck. The tire just gone, completely gone. And I felt bad because he's an old dude. But then again,
You should know.
Yeah.
you should know what you're doing. You have 2 tasks. Drain the oil, put oil in. Tire rotation, loosen lug nuts, tighten lug nuts.
Torque lug nuts.
And torque them once they touch the ground, of course. You're not going to torque them in the air. But no, his job was too difficult, and the tire went flying. And he got fired that same day.
To be honest with you, I don't remember what he looked like, but I remember that day.
It was an old guy.
Yeah. He was there that short that I don't even fucking remember.
Yeah, it was literally that quick. I think he probably maybe worked 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I'm not gonna say the owner of that place's name, but that guy fucking sucks. I hope he fucking dies.
Evil.
I fucking hate that dickhead,
Yeah.
dude.
He was an asshole.
He's a piece of shit to all his employees, bro. They have one parts guy in every dealer, and they thought that was enough. And I'm like, how do you expect the parts department to make money when they don't have any parts drivers and they don't even have anyone to manage it because the manager's doing all the counter work? And then they would come in and be like, oh, why are these numbers so low? Bitch, you didn't hire
It's
anyone.
your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? And then I remember the first time. Oh, you weren't there. Maybe you were there. The first time I got hired. No, you weren't. It was me and Justin. It was before you even got there.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked there in 2015, 14.
He was there. Before.
No, he was there in 2015.
I think I only worked with Justin for like a few. It was a few
Yeah.
before he ended up going either drifting or.
But they hired me for parts, right? I was there for a week or 2 weeks, and the owner comes in. Oh, I didn't tell you could hire him. Yeah, you're fired. So they fired
you or Justin?
Yeah, they fired me, and then they rehired me again. And I'm like, you sure I'm going to actually get hired this time, or like what? The guy just came in and fired me, and he didn't even. It seemed like you guys didn't even ask him.
That's wild.
And then the second time, I guess they wanted another person in there, but it was always Melvin doing everything at every dealer I was at. Like he was doing everything in the parts department, and it was just he was really smart. He's a really smart guy, but you can't do everything.
Yeah,
Like,
you're stretching somebody too thin.
yeah, he literally would be like, oh yeah, like on the phone, like, yeah, I'll try to get your parts to you, yeah, by like 1 p.m. He would get in the car, leave, and go deliver parts. Leave the dealership with no parts department, and then come back. I'm like, what
In his
is
own
this?
car.
Yeah.
He'll leave in his own car.
I remember he would pick up parts in his own car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
that
think
Maxima.
I think he was at Hawthorne
Yeah.
for a short period of time. And
Now, he's doing this for 2 reasons. One, because he's nice. 2, because he's trying to bump his commission check up because
Yup.
you're going to make money on commission.
Get that paper, Pop.
But like, you can't do that. Like, they need another person in there.
So 2 people would have been the ideal.
2 people was me and Melvin for like,
That's like minimum.
2 years.
I remember
a year.
they hired him, and then the owner fired him, and then they hired him again.
Yeah. And then, but then, this was great too. The second time when they hired me, I came in, Melvin's working with me for like maybe like 2 weeks. And then he just goes, all right, they need me at Hawthorne, so it's going to be you. I said, what?
And then you was running.
I just ran that dealership's
Yeah.
parts department. It was my second week there. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. Like, I don't even know how to use the computer system. And he's just like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm working like 60 hours a week and getting no overtime. I'm like, no, like I'm not doing this shit.
That's what they did a lot of, slave everyone
Yeah,
out.
that guy's a dickhead. The owner of that business is a dickhead. He deserves everything he got.
You know, it's funny because I never worked with you, but what you're describing, I know exactly who it is, and that's how like bad of a reputation this
Yeah.
person has.
Yeah.
And how it just like travels so fast to, dealerships that aren't even connected.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he had the 3, right? So, I mean, he had 2 Nissan dealerships in the county, and there was only 4 or 5 or 6 at that
This
time.
person does not own any dealerships anymore. At least I don't
so
know.
funny.
I don't think he does.
Hope he lost his house
They're
too.
retired now. They cashed out. They sold the dealers.
I don't think they do. But also another story with the owner. I remember I was going on vacation. I think I've already been working there for a year and change. So I'm due for a vacation. So I put my vacation in, and I tell the shop foreman Massie, I was like, "Yo, I'm going to DR for vacation." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Next thing I know, someone else is telling me, or I think the owner heard about it. He was just like, "If he goes on vacation, you fire him the day he comes back." So now I go to the shop foreman and Massie. I'm just like, "Is this happening? Let me know right now, because then I'll just quit before you even fire me." He goes, "Nah, man, he's just playing around." I'm just like, so I want to see you go over there, talk to him, and I want to see that he's actually playing around. He goes over there and talks to me. He's like, "Yeah, I think he really does want to fire you, but I don't think he's gonna fire you. just go ahead and enjoy your vacation." I'm like, "Do I got a job when I come back? Yes or no? Like, let me know right now, because if not, I'll just go start looking for something right now."
I mean, I did the same thing at Nissan.
Or extend your
17.
vacation.
We all did the same.
We all
thing.
did the same thing.
It was bad
Because
bro.
when you don't value your boss or your manager, or you don't value them, so you don't give a fuck about that job. Like, that's the treatment you're gonna get if your boss treats you like shit. You should give them the same fucking energy right back.
Remember
No,
when we-
exactly.
Like,
Remember the Cali trip in 2018 when we all went?
yeah, we literally you guys fucking went
He was
too.
good.
To Super D that year. I told them, like, this is the event.
We were all working together, no?
Yeah, we were all in the same fucking building.
It was the same like auto group. I was in Hackensack. I remember they told me
yeah.
that they were like giving me a hard time, and they're like, I was gonna go. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think I took Monday off. And they're like, "Yo, just make sure you're back on Tuesday."
Yeah.
And I remember going on the trip. I already applied for a job. I went for Ramsey Infinity, and I remember getting a text on Monday.
When we were over there.
Yeah, like I got a text from one of my coworkers. He's like, "Dude, I'm sorry what happened. I heard about what happened." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Bro, I heard you got fired." I'm like, "I didn't hear anything, but thank you for giving me a heads up." And then, dude, like an hour later, I get a call from Ramsey Infinity saying that like I got a job offer.
Oh,
Like, they
thank
accepted
God.
Me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, I'm going back with a new job." I remember calling off Tuesday, and they're like, "You remember what happens if you don't come in on Tuesday, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna take another day off."
That's
And
funny
then
as fuck.
on Wednesday, I went in and I was like, "Yeah, this is my last week. I'm out."
So they didn't
It's
fire
like,
you though.
Just for going on vacation, you're gonna fire someone?
Yeah, but they
Like,
didn't
we
fire
have
you
lives,
though,
We're
right?
people.
They just he heard you were gonna get fired, and then yeah.
I've taken 2
That's how
vacations at
messed
my
up these
job, and it's been
dealerships were that
3
we worked.
months.
What was it?
I've taken 2 long weekends at my job, and it's been 2 months or
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, no, these dealerships, like, I mean,
Yeah,
the current ones everyone's at right now is fine, but the ones before that was
We're
fucking
much,
bad.
Much better than we were before.
Yeah, like I mean, I told I was a dickhead. I was like, I'm taking 2 weeks off. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm just letting you know that I won't be here for 2 weeks. You can tell me if I'm gonna have a job when I get back.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then you guys tried to get off work.
We did.
Yeah,
I somehow managed to get it, and then that's when I think you asked after me, and then it was just like, what the fuck?
You guys can't all go on the same
taking
trip
off at the same
we
time.
are.
Just like, well,
yeah.
let
That
me
was
know
fun.
right now because we're going either way. No flights is bought already. We jumping on that flight no matter what.
Fun.
And everyone like follows each other too. Like if you leave a dealership, if someone leaves, like Bryan escaped. He escaped Bergenfield, and then he's like, "Yo, they need a parts guy."
And I was hitting
or no, you hit Nick up first,
I think
or opposite.
First, I think I left Bergenfield for sure. And then
Aim
I think I hit
that
up
mic
Nick.
at you.
And then I think I hit up Nick for a tech position. I think you came, or I think it was you first.
I think it was me.
It was like this.
Yeah, it was close.
Well, they were looking for both tech and parts. And I was just like, you're looking for a parts guy. You want to work?
But that
here?
happens often, right?
Oh, it absolutely does, and it's
You
more
go
with
in groups.
management.
Yeah.
It's more with management than individual techs. I've seen,
Yeah, because management's like, oh, bring your friends.
yeah,
Yeah, right. Like,
or they try to like poach their old crew. We had a manager. He actually got a cease and desist letter
yeah.
because he took 2 techs with him to another dealer, and
How
he
was
was
that?
trying to.
How was that illegal?
I have no idea.
Crazy.
Yeah,
But they did send him a cease and desist. He was served papers.
That's fucking crazy.
But that's the dilemma of where I'm at right now.
Why?
So remember, I was at 17.
Turn this thing to you. You gotta talk like in this part. Yeah, yeah.
So I was at 17. Worked at 17. I was just like, I'm fuck that. I'm tired of cars. Went to FedEx.
Yeah.
Got into some bullshit with FedEx. Went back to 17. And at that point, the management at that point, I didn't even like them. And neither the other people that I was with liked them either. So it got to a point we did a 4 tech transfer. So we grabbed 4 techs. Boom. Went to the dealership that I'm at now. Grabbed all 4. Left them with no shop foreman and 3 techs.
That's fucking crazy.
So it gets crazier.
Clean
So
house.
we come over here. We're here now. We didn't really take over because I won't say we took over, but we packed that dealership up, which is way smaller than 17. But at the same time, the dealership that we went to, that foreman left and went where we just left from.
What the
So
fuck?
it's like we traded places, and
That's
then it
weird.
happened the same thing. He started recruiting people, and people started going over to that
wow.
dealership. And it's just, that's literally how the life of a dealership goes.
Sometimes
It's
it's
either
not,
because
the
of
grass is not always
management-
greener on the other.
Not always greener on the
You know that better than anyone. Nick.
It's either because of management, or it's literally you guys are leaving as like a group, and you're gonna accept it as a group, or you just gonna keep looking for techs and you're not gonna find a solid tech, or you're not gonna find a real tech that's actually stands behind the resume that they're handing you.
Yeah.
You went to a lot of dealers.
I must have worked in every Nissan and Infiniti dealership in Bergen County. They are all the same.
You actually did, except for Hawthorne, right?
I did not work at all.
Yeah. So you worked at every single dealership in the county except for
Pretty
one.
much.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I only
fucking
worked
crazy.
for three, including the current one.
But
that I'm in
between
now.
all of us, we worked for every single one.
Yeah.
Between me
Yeah.
and Kris, we worked for every single one, except
I only worked that too.
yeah. But that's all I needed because it's in our county. Yeah, we worked at every single one. Bergen.
Oh yeah.
We are not the problem though. You know the story they say, like if a tech keeps hopping from dealer
Yeah.
to dealer, they're
You're the
a
problem?
bad tech. No,
You don't feel that
we
way?
are not the problem.
Nick's always just wanted to fix cars.
I just
Like-
want to fix people's cars, bro.
Like legit fix the car.
Like you tell me there's something wrong with your car, I want to fix it, and I want to get the car back to you fixed right. That's it.
yeah.
But Nick was like against the smoke thing. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I want to do this. Nothing's wrong. I gotta fix the car. I was like, cool, you fix the car. Well, my pockets are getting fatter, and I'm gonna keep milking the fuck out this shit because I need money.
You have to do both, unfortunately.
Bro, you know what was the first red flag applying to Bergenfield? What? I went there, I filled out my application, handed Mike my application. He goes, all right, we'll give you a call. Literally calls me 10 minutes later.
Yeah, that's a red
And then I
flag, bro.
came back and he was like, oh yeah, we'll talk. Can you start tomorrow? I'm like, sure. That was the first red flag. I should have never went there.
They saw
live and you learn.
They saw they came from Ramsey and then they were like, we need him now.
they saw the pay and they were like,
Probably.
We can get him for a little bit, and then before he realizes he fucked up. Like, isn't that insane?
No, but the fucked up part is that I was getting paid 13 at Ramsey. Then when I went to Bergman, I was like, I'm gonna bump it to like $2. So I put it at 15, and they're like, you could start tomorrow. We can only do 13, and I was like, fuck.
So you're taking a pay cut?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I was getting the same pay. I was trying to get it higher, but then I had no job, so I was like,
Need a job.
I needed a job now. I was like, all right, whatever. Then I got fucked.
Sorry.
I got fucked for 8 months.
That sucked because Crystal, that Bergenfield dealer was way further away from my house than the Ramsey dealer was. When Chris was working at Ramsey, bro, he'd be taking breaks. He'd show up at my house. We have lunch, having a good time.
Oh yeah, when I used to do PDIs.
Yeah.
When I would go to the lot. I'm like, all right, pick up breakfast, eat breakfast in a brand new car. I take like a 15, 20-minute nap. And then I'll be like, then I'll call Carl. I'm like, yo, you home? Like, yeah, I just got back. I'm like,
pulls up in a brand
I pull up in a brand new car.
that is insane.
His mom comes out. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Carl literally lives like the exit.
No, Eddie knows.
Yeah, like-
Eddie was up in
I know. I
there.
used to
Yeah, that's.
pass by as well.
I mean, it's not that it's not that crazy. It's like the test drive.
I think
Dude, you, if roads were not thing, it was literally like maybe 400 yards away from my house.
That ramp next to your house,
Sick.
that shit is crazy.
Are you talking about the one you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was the first like 17 southbound. That was the first time I ever felt a crash, like a drift, like a drift.
You were drifting that ramp?
Catastrophe. Chris drifted it
Easy.
in a Z.
Oh boy.
Open or whatever is that? VLSD. Dude, sopping wet. It was so wet. And
So it's easy.
And the tarmac in that spot is just straight oil. Like it was so shiny. So then Chris,
For context, we were already rain drifting before that.
yeah, we were. We hit
went
the,
to
that-
no.
no the ski.
Oh, yeah.
There's a spot.
I don't think
But
that's a
we were
spot.
doing okay.
Yeah, we were having
Yeah,
fun.
definitely don't talk about that spot.
We were having fun.
But yeah.
Dude, I learned a lot there. That's when I learned how to do third gear shit. Is over there.
Ooh, that's good.
But we were having a good day because it was raining. Chris does this ramp. Just like fast. It just went whoop, boom. We're spun around. I'm like, oh fuck. And then there's a little median curb, like a small one.
But there's an incline.
It goes
There's
up.
like a slope.
Yeah, a little bit. Chris just backs it up. Whoop, poof. Whoop,
The VQ.
nothing.
Oh
I'm
no,
like,
you guys are stuck.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
beached.
fuck. What do I do? So I think I leave. I go to get a jack and some wood, and
This
I
is
come
the
back.
middle of the night.
By that time
It was the
too-
middle of the day.
Oh no.
By that time it was too
midday.
late. The tow truck came.
Yeah, tow truck was already here. I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? Okay, gone. Tow truck pulls Chris off. It just pops over the curb. He has to tow it, right? He has to tow it. He tows it
He had
like
to-
two
He
buildings
just needs
down
to pay it.
to
Yeah.
Porcelanosa or whatever, that tile spot, not Porcelanosa. There's a flooring spot. Drops it right there. Me and Chris keep driving the rest of the day.
350
Yeah, I think he only
CD.
charged me like $100 just to get it off.
Yeah, that was my first ever crash. Was that ramp? Fuck that, dude. And then the downhill one. That one was a sick one to drift.
Spinning out on an on ramp is definitely the worst feeling.
It's
'cause
the
you're like,
worst.
It's terrifying.
You're gonna hit something.
when there's someone behind you and you're like, God damn it, I just ruined this guy's whole day.
Yeah.
Those were fun. Chris would dude, I was on a cruise. Chris would be on his lunch break. He would pull up. My mom gave, aside from our family, there's two other people who got the house code, and Chris was one. So then Chris got the house code, and
You
I was
just
on
be
this.
inside your house.
Yeah, he was having lunch. He FaceTimed me. He's like, yeah, he was building an SR for me. In the garage, it was fully apart in oil filter boxes, all the bolts from Nissan, the gray oil filter box.
Yeah.
There's just so many of them in the garage, just organized.
65 F0E.
Yeah, just straight fucking all of them. And then he was just building the head, built the block. Done. I come back from the cruise. There's an SR built in the garage. It was sick.
Damn, that's sick.
Dude, Chris was just living in there, man. It was
Yeah, he
sick.
FaceTimed me one time and I had just microwave Vienna sausages.
The kitchen. I see the kitchen floor. I'm like, bro.
Chris
what
was
the
never late for
fuck?
work that week.
Dude, it was sick. You should have just full blown slept in
Yeah,
there.
you
I
probably
don't
should
know.
have.
There were a lot of times where I stayed over because
we was working.
we were doing stuff. And I
Yeah.
was like, I got work tomorrow. I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah, and you just go.
So, you guys got any advice for people listening that are looking to get into the automotive industry?
Yeah, when you go on a road test, always go to your friend's shop.
Okay, maybe not that. Maybe not that.
All right, my bad. I was gonna tell them the story.
Here, Bryan.
I was gonna tell them the story about when I came by in the 2 cars, the Maxima and the Z.
Not the Z.
Why not the Z? It was neither of our cars.
That's the problem.
It's all right. I don't work there anymore. So I was road testing a Z, right? Used car. That was convertible, automatic.
Oh,
So whatever, I'm driving it. I come by, I was just like, yo, Frank, look at the Z. He's like, is it a stick? I was like, no, it's automatic. And I was just like, I bet you can't slide this. He goes, yeah. And we switched seats.
That was the worst idea I ever had.
We switched seats. He went down some street. And I was just like, all right. He's like, all right, hold on. I was just
For
like,
the
okay.
record, I don't do this to anyone's car.
There was no owner to the car,
is
though.
allegedly.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It was-
yeah.
So it's no
and
one's
this
car.
is like kid.
Oh,
Frankie.
it was a fucking.
It was just a used car.
Oh, that's why I did it. Okay,
That's the reason why I let you do it.
that makes more sense.
So he jumps in the car. Boom. We were driving down the street. It was some street off. I forgot where it was. And he's like, all right, hold on. And it's just doing figure eights, getting sideways. I was like, oh, this is cool. And he's like, all right, let's go back to the shop. Comes back. He's like, all right, see you later. I'm going back to work. We just destroyed tires on that car.
Remember when we tried?
And it was a used car.
Remember when I tried to do a burnout and it wouldn't let me do a burnout? I was like, I was just drifting the shit out of this car, but I can't do a burnout.
But yeah, it could slide, but it won't burn out.
Yeah, because
It
like the
was
second you hit if you're on the gas and the brake at the same time, it's like no.
It was pretty whack.
Yeah.
How about that one time?
The Maxima.
How about the one time I pulled up in the Maxima? I think it was like a 12 Maxima.
I remember the car. Oh, when you just screamed at us?
Yeah, remember? I pulled up. I think I hauled ass. No, I pulled up and I'm screaming out the window. I was like, hey, do you guys tune VQs here? And someone just screams out the garage, nah. I was like, okay. And I burned out from the door to the stop sign. It was raining that day. Turned off traction. I just stepped on it. I'm spinning tires all the way. And then I come back later that day. I'm just like, yeah, I said not a good idea, but that was a customer car. I did that in.
That was the good old days when you actually
Based on a
work
true
close.
story, too.
That's literally a true story.
When you used to work close to us, that was fun.
I remember going on lunch breaks, having to road test customer cars, and Kris worked with me at the time, and and it was very high end Ubers to Wendy's.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so I was the only GTR tech. There,
No.
and had to drive it. He had a complaint about some shuddering sometimes at higher RPMs.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have to test
So
that.
I have to test drive it. So it's about lunchtime. I look over at Kris. He's in the middle of working or singing, whichever might be happening at that time. And I said, "Hey, do you want Wendy's?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "I'll meet you in the back." And
It's like a secret.
it was, yeah, it really was, yeah.
What was wrong with that car anyway?
I think he just needed a tune-up and trans and diff fluids.
Oh, you
done
didn't,
because
smoke a
it was
transmission?
older. It was older, and it surprisingly had a lot of miles for a GTR. It was definitely like daily driven.
Damn.
Yeah, so pick Kris up in it, and we're flying up and down 17 in the GTR. In one direction with no food, and in the other direction with a bunch of Wendy's.
Dude,
Hey, it's
the
a daily driven GTR.
Bro,
so.
the Wendy's too, you guys had to probably go down this way a few, back this way a lot, and then back this way.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to hit triple digits in that car.
Well, that dealership's a good dealership to be test driving GTR.
Yeah.
Because you can't get to that dealership easily. You have to.
No, it's where it is. It's great because you have to get on and off the highway, but it's also terrible if anything happens on the highway right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah.
There was a few
And there was a
things,
lot.
Yeah, that happened on that highway, like
was-
right there.
Wasn't
There
that
was-
that one accident that someone was crossing the highway?
Someone was crossing the highway.
They were playing frog or
I
something?
think in front of the hotel that was next to the Nissan dealer.
Oh yeah.
And they just got crushed and like sent
What the fuck is that
40,
place
50
called?
feet.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the entire highway was shut down. We were stuck there until maybe like 8 o'clock at night.
Oh my god!
And then there was a time, I remember it was like, maybe 1 week to another, where an 18-wheeler took out a power line that went across the highway, going north, and by the quick check, took the power line out. And then we were just stuck there because they shut the highway down in both directions. And then not 4 or 5 days later, another 18-wheeler took the same power line out.
Oh my god!
Going the other direction.
I think it was the same guy. He said I didn't do it right the first time.
And it's funny because I want to say it was the second time I was outside getting a car and like I heard tires screeching, and I looked up and all of a sudden I look at the power lines and I see them do like this bounce.
Oh my god! Yo, that was a good thing about Route 17 Nissan because you had the exit ramp right there.
But I think 17 has the best
Location.
road test location.
Yeah, because you could
It's
leave.
either you come out and you got a track set up, and you can just haul ass, or you can do the loop around if you want to get a little sideways or whatever. Or it's just, I think any car that I road tested or a used car, it was getting violated. Like I think I had it was a 5.0 Mustang.
This is not what I wanted this conversation to be about.
Sorry.
Just for the record.
Sorry. A 5.0 Mustang, used car. I think I had left with my coworker Sammy. I was just like, yo, let's go on a road test real quick. I gotta check it for brakes. So I'll jump on 17, make a left. And I'm driving, reach the light by the Shell Starbucks. I was just like, all right, let's see what these Mustangs are about. Boom, I launch it. Haul ass, boom.
Right into a pole.
No, I didn't. I reached the diner, pop a U-turn, and I launch it again. Next thing I know, I'm getting pulled over.
Oh shit!
Cop pulls me over. He's like, yeah, I'm pulling you over for speeding. And I asked why you speed. I was just like, yeah, I didn't do no brakes. Yeah, I just did brakes, and I'm trying to, break in the brakes real quick. I work right here at 17. He goes, yeah, no, that's not gonna work out. And he gave me the whole speeding ticket. I had to go to court a couple days later. I was just God. So much fun for road testing a car. I mean, it was good. It was loud. It wasn't fast.
Damn. I'm surprised he didn't let you go.
Nah, hell no. Dealer plate didn't work. My uniform didn't work. RO in my hand didn't work. None of that worked.
How fast were you going?
I don't know what I hit, to be honest. I went 1 through 4.
All right, you were moving. Yeah, all right, you were moving.
This guy was on the Autobahn.
So I was
And then
moving.
you said, yeah, I was just bending the brakes in. Sir, you're going 110 miles an hour.
I really don't know.
That's crazy.
I got hit with a fat ticket once in the customer car, and I had driven it overnight just because it was already the end of the day. And I said, look, I'm not going to be able to do anything in the next 30 minutes. Like, gave me permission to take it home. It was a Cummins Titan, and he complained about lack of power going uphill. All right, cool. Where we work is perfect. There's a nice steep hill to get back to the dealership. So I'm going up 17 that next morning, and I'm doing about 70, 80. I'm touching 90 at some point. And I'm wondering what the hell this guy's talking about. This truck is driving perfectly fine, and I see the light reflection behind me because I can't see the truck as a Bergen County sheriff because this Titan was it had a lift kit on it, so I just barely see the lights behind me. And I don't know how long he was already behind me for.
He was trying to catch up. You should have just nailed it,
Yeah.
bro. You would have lost him with that black smoke.
Yeah. and he stopped me, and I give him, I say, hey, you know what? I'm just trying to work here. I'm just trying to verify this guy's concern. He's all like, yeah, no, not my problem. And I had no paperwork to the truck other than the repair order and my license.
And that's it.
Protect and serve.
He's like, where's the insurance card? It's like, it's not my truck. It's like, where's the registration? It's not my truck.
Yeah.
Here's the owner's information. Here's my license. That's the best I can do for you.
Yeah.
And he hits me with 3 tickets.
Jesus Christ.
One for speeding and the other two for not providing paperwork.
Stomping
That's
ground.
ass.
Where?
I hit 1.
Ramsey, right?
Dude, them Saddle River cops ain't no joke.
They
dude.
really ain't no
No,
joke.
they're
Those
not.
were the ones. Saddle River, Mawa, Ramsey cops all suck. They pulled me over for shit like loud exhaust, sticker on the windshield. I had 1 sticker on the windshield. bro.
Supposedly you can't see, right?
You can't see.
Yeah.
I was like, what
It's
the
like you're blindfolded.
fuck? So that they loved pulling me over. Dude, I tried to run away from the cops and fucking
Which one was that? It was when when you come down the hill. I think it used to be an Olive Garden. I don't think it's an Olive Garden anymore.
No.
I think it's a dealer.
It is a dealer now.
It's a dealer now. Damn, now you can't even get pasta over there. Fuck that. So down the hill right there, they're right next to the boot warehouse and the playground store. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right before the Valero?
Yeah. The speed shop down there.
Yes, there was a speed shop down there.
Still is.
Right there, that's awesome. There's a cop sitting right there, and I blow by, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm running it.
No.
It was my first 2 weeks with my license, dude. Right there,
And you decide to run it?
I'm running it because I was doing 100 already.
Okay.
Because I was coming down the hill.
That's
and I
not
was,
fast, but let's hear how this goes.
Look, that was 100 miles an hour.
Hill.
Fresh.
You're about to go up a hill right now.
We had
Fresh.
the fastest Sentras.
Fresh out the license. Fresh out the license center. Fresh out the DMV. This license is burning a hole in my pocket, dude. Like I just got the car, everything. 100 miles an hour, 3 kids in the car. I have Kylie's Law, which is back then it was. I don't think it exists now. You cannot be driving past sundown or 10 o'clock or whatever, and you can't have more than 1 non-family member in the car. Had 3. I'm doing 100. I'm like, yo, we're gonna hit 100 miles an hour. It's sick. Boo! Cop right at Valero.
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't know how to practice responsibility at that age. I'm just fucking around. I want to go fast. At 100, it's about to hit the uphill, and I'm like,
Your foot got heavy.
yeah. I needed to stretch my calf. So I'm like, yeah, floor it.
What car were you in?
It was a Audi A5 or A4.
Okay.
It was slow as shit. It was the slowest car I've ever owned. It was
As long as it wasn't a Nissan Sentra.
no, but we're going.
We'll
we're
circle
going
back to that.
We're going long enough, and we're going faster than the cop enough till we hit the Wendy's. That's how long I was running for. We hit the Wendy's. I'm like, fuck this. I'm losing him in the town. So I hit the brake. I fucking take the exit.
He was behind you or did you?
I don't know. But I will tell you, he probably was right on my ass and was like, what the fuck is this kid doing?
just following right behind him.
Why does this kid think he's running right now? But I'm like, adrenaline pumping, pull over. Take the jug handle. I go right into my orthodontist office. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to this parking lot right here. Bam! Right into the orthodontist office. Park, turn off the lights, turn off the car. 10 seconds, 2 seconds later, not 10 seconds, 2 seconds later, woo! The whole cavalry, dude.
Oh my God.
Every fucking Saddle River cop, Ramsey cop just pulling into this bitch. I'm like, fuck.
You thought you got away.
This is so bad. This is so bad. Probationary license. My parents are going to beat my ass till next week, dude. Fuck. So I'm sitting there.
Yo, he got out the car, closes it. He's walking away like Don Toretto.
No.
With a jacket. Remember the jacket?
I didn't even
Walking
have
down
the
the street.
I had no time. I literally parked it, turned the car off and the lights, and just they all flew in. And then they're like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Get out the car. I'm like, hands up. I'm like, okay. I get out of the car, walk to the back of the car. I'm walking to the back of the car,
No
hands on
way.
the trunk, hands on the trunk. Yeah, bro, I did the whole thing. Oh my God. This is my first time ever getting pulled over as a licensed driver.
Dude, you watched Fast and Furious.
I got pulled over right away. They put me hands on the trunk. The other kids in my car, they're all a little. They might have not had their licenses yet because I was 17. They were probably 16. So I'm just hands on the car like this, and then they're like, I can end your driving career right now and ruin it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Give me the fucking
I'm
ticket.
please don't,
Please don't put it in
Please
me.
don't. Just sitting there, please don't.
Please use lube.
Please, don't do it. No. He's like, all right. We're going to let you off with the biggest warning of your life.
No way.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, you were doing a little stroke my shit. I got lotion on my shit.
No. I was pretending to have a seizure. I was like, fuck, no, please don't. My parents are going to beat my ass, please. He's like, all right, we're going to let you off with a warning. Bro, the warning? I'm like, okay, I'll go straight home. He's like, go straight home. I'm like, okay, no problem. We get out of the parking lot, bro. The 4 cop cars are following me to my house, all on 17, all in a line. I take the exit. I live right on Lake.
Please tell me your mom saw this.
Dude, no. I live right on. I was concerned. that's what they were going to do. Like I was concerned they were gonna I was gonna pull into my driveway and they were gonna pull in and they're gonna tell my parents exactly what the fuck I did.
Yep.
You should have pulled up to like a Hooters or something.
All right, I'm home.
All right, hey, I live right here. Because there is one, I think. Is there?
I think
down the
there
road?
was. I
Down
I think there
towards the
was
Sheridan?
one.
Yeah, there was one.
There was one. I think,
17 in
somewhere.
Paramus.
That was the worst,
No?
bro.
Maybe I'm
Fuck.
thinking of that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I might be thinking.
Or maybe
Yeah.
it's on 4.
No, the one at 4 is gone. That's a Chick-fil-A
Okay.
now, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely
Damn.
the one in Paramus. That was there for a while. That was actually Carrie's favorite place to go.
Oh, yeah, the one next to the Range Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they used to have unlimited wings in there. I wish they would bring that back. Wait, I think they did bring it back. Yo,
Wait, that Hooters is gone? No?
Yeah, all of them are gone.
Oh, really?
No,
There's
yeah.
one by me,
There's one
Oh,
by me
yeah?
as well.
but in Flemington.
Yeah, but this guy's 2 hours away.
See ya.
No, me and Nick are gonna get Hooters now. Yeah.
Oh, are you guys close to each other?
Yeah, he's the closest person to me so far that
Oh
has
my
told me
God.
he lives.
There you go. You
You
got a
guys are
friend
still
right here.
probably closer to him, though.
What was it?
You guys are still probably closer to him than me.
Nah, Clinton's like 15 minutes away from it. Dude, I literally live like on 78.
That's sick.
Like it's
You're right there.
pretty hell. It's pretty hell.
We got some questions from some listeners.
Can we go back
boy.
to the question of what is the advice we'd give?
Please,
to-
yes, please, Nick.
Okay. You're going to have to mess up a lot before you start actually fixing shit.
Wait, what does that mean? Like you gotta mess up people's cars?
Unfortunately. You're going to learn from your mistakes.
You're gonna learn from every
Like-
car that you break.
I'll never forget my first buyback. I'll never forget.
Buyback?
Buyback.
What does that mean?
Like, I couldn't fix a car and they bought it back because I couldn't fix it. I finally fixed it, and then the customer's like, yo, I don't want this car anymore. It was a QX56 in Armada. Dude, I couldn't fix it for 2 months.
Wait, they just bought the car?
No, they had it, but I had it at the dealer for 2 months. Couldn't figure it.
Yeah, lemon.
Yeah,
they
it was lemon
they can
law.
lemon law it.
What was wrong with it?
I don't want to say.
Oh, okay.
Well, the problem was all the
Hold on.
buttons
Bring
in the
that-
middle
bring-
Yeah,
did
bring
not
them-
respond at all. All the buttons in the middle did not respond at all, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong
Was
with
this
it.
at Burnfield Nissan?
No, this was at Ramsey
Oh, okay.
Infinity. I was going back and forth with Tech Line. They're like, put a radio in it, put a screen in it, put everything in it. I put all that shit in it, nothing fixed it. I put everything in it.
Hey, yeah, at some point they just say throw everything in.
Put a chassis harness in it.
Yeah.
Yo, I did do the dash harness. on
Yeah,
that
literally.
truck.
That's crazy.
It was a blown fuse.
Stop.
Oh,
And I messed up bad. I messed up bad because I initially found the blown fuse, bro. And this is when I used to smoke a lot of pot. I put it back in the wrong spot. So it was still an open circuit. And I didn't figure that out for like 2 months, bro.
Oh no.
Yo, that is like yeah. Because the empty spot was right next to the spot.
Nice.
That
Yo, so
was
how
my
did,
biggest mistake.
I would buy that car from that dealer and be like, yo, I'll take it for 200
Yeah, fuck
bucks.
it.
No
I'll take
problem.
it.
I'll take it.
but how did you find out what the problem was?
I was going through the circuit and I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
So you found it.
I was like, yo, I got to go back to the basics. I went back to the fuse. I figured it out. I was like, oh my God, I put the fuse in the right spot. It was fixed. I told one of the techs, he's like, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone about this.
So you just told a lot of our listeners who are worldwide, and they're going to
I
tell
don't
your
work
boss.
there anymore. I'm good.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what Frank was asking. Like, what advice you're gonna learn from you just fucking up bad, and it could be to a point a blown fuse, and you're like 9 miles away from the first checkup that you did,
Start at the basics.
and that's shit like that.
I have a question for. Well, do you have any input on this before we jump to another thing?
Yeah, so I would always, just going back to what Bryan said, just don't forget your basics. As you progress through your career, it's really easy to just think that it's the most complicated thing. I can't stress enough that, especially when it comes to like electrical problems, go back to, does it have battery voltage? Because sometimes, not enough or too much can just create a load of problems.
This literally just happened yesterday. I think that car is fixed. We had a car come in. What was it, Kris?
The car would randomly shut off.
While driving.
It would like cut off and then come back on. And like Jesus is like trying to figure it out. He's like scanning the BCM, the IPM. Yeah. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this battery ground is kind of loose, but that wouldn't really shut off a car. It would still run off the alternator. I was like, oh, alternator. Let's go to the alternator. The positive post was loose.
And then they told us that they just did the alternator like a few months ago.
The customer did the alternator herself.
But that's the one bullshit you go through.
But I was thinking of BCM. I was thinking
They
like,
won't tell you that shit.
That's the bullshit that you're gonna go through and you're gonna deal with. A customer won't tell you what they did to the car, and then you literally, you'll figure that out. Maybe whatever, 10 hours in, you're into trying to repair the car, and just like, this guy replaced his alternator, or just, I replaced my alternator. Yeah, I think you should come in when you're complaining about your car, what you done to your car.
that's honestly, that's
will
also the
help.
service writer's fault.
That too.
Yeah.
I'm at war with service writers. I put them all in their place.
All day?
Yeah, I asked Eddie.
Every day, just full war.
Eddie sometimes tells me, he's like, yo, you say the right things, but sometimes at the wrong time. And there's never a wrong time.
100% true.
There's-
It could be 100% right. It's like, you know what? They didn't need to hear that right at this moment. This
there's
was an end of the day thing.
You're not safe with me at all. You're gonna hear right there and then because I'm already hot. But why am I gonna be cool down and then let you know how I feel? No, if I'm already hot and I'm already on 1,000, you're gonna hear it right there and then.
This is funny too because you guys are on the same. You guys have teams in your dealership, right?
Was.
Was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not enough staff anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys were on the same team basically, so
Yeah.
you would all see the same shit. But so you got to see what he's doing and vice versa.
Oh, he sees everything.
Kris, do you have any input for new technicians or
New technicians probably wouldn't start a dealership. It's a very steep ladder to climb because dealerships there's a lot of politics. Whether the dealership is good or not. My only advice is find a local shop that's willing to pay you to learn.
That too.
Yeah.
You guys all started at dealerships other than
I did.
Kris, you started at a dealership?
No. I started at a performance shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all did?
I started at Bergenfield.
Now, who went to tech school and who didn't? Did you all go to tech school?
I went.
We went at the
We
same
actually
time.
went to Lincoln Tech together.
Okay. You went to tech
I went to UTI.
and you did too, Kris.
Yeah.
So you guys all went to tech school. Okay. So what do you have to say about that? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think
I say if you want to get into the dealership, just go straight into the dealer. Because no matter how much tech school you have, they're going to throw you on the oil change line anyway.
yeah.
And you're going to learn in that oil change line. And then while you're sitting down, not doing anything, go and interact with the other techs, see what they're doing. Find someone who's willing to answer 10,000 questions.
What if they think that kid is weird or some shit, and then you guys just talk shit about him in the shop?
Well, we're going to talk shit regardless. we're going to talk shit
I was
regardless.
gonna say they always talk shit, and that's fine. Whatever.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
To back Eddie's statement, when I went to go apply at Ramsey, I was working at a performance shop. I was doing engine swaps, trans swaps, suspension installs, everything within my first 2 years of becoming a mechanic. All that experience didn't matter because I had no dealership experience.
Yep.
So when I went to Ramsey, I was a express lube. So you literally, when you get to a dealership, you start at the bottom. If you have no knowledge of any mechanical knowledge and you don't know anything about cars, LTI is a great place. If you do have knowledge and you can know the basics, just go straight to a shop or a dealership.
I kind of agree with that.
Dude, you know what LTI was sick for?
The parking
lot.
Yeah,
bro. Oh my god, dude. I drifted to IS there like a couple years ago because I was at my parents' house. And I'm like, where the fuck can I test this out? Oh, I know where we could go. And there was that little off-road testing section.
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I'm
the
talking
hill,
about?
the
Oh
hill.
yeah, dude, you can launch fucking crazy shit off that.
Somebody
so
did.
that was the way that you figured out
In the parking lot?
who was actually learning at that school and who was going to drop out. The kids that were drifting during lunch. That's what I heard. Miyagi, his brother, fucking
Dan?
yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Jesse.
I would come out for lunch and all I hear is an RX-8 just 9,000 RPM smoke in the parking lot. I'm like, all right.
Yep. Yeah, because the friends I have, well, this is how it was always, I remember my friend Dustin. He's the one who taught me how to drift. He taught me how to work on cars not for the most part, but he was one of the people. He went to Lincoln Tech and he would always say, fuck that shit. Don't go to Lincoln Tech. He would always tell everyone no, don't go to those schools. It's a waste of money, this and that. And then some other people would say the same thing. But then I'd like look at my whole group of friends and I'd be like, wait a minute. All the ones that are actually smart and know what they're doing went to Lincoln Tech. So it was just weird. I was like, they're all telling you not to go, but at the same time, those motherfuckers are the ones that actually learn something and know more than all the other people I know that didn't go and are trying to work on cars. So I think it all depends on what you put into it.
It depends on how you.
That could have been Jesus.
It depends on how you apply yourself.
It might be.
He's warming up. That sounded like a rotary.
Yeah.
I'll turn on my car right now.
What'd you say?
go.
What'd you say, Nick?
It depends on how you apply yourself.
Yeah.
Because like I was eager to go in there and learn how to work on cars and shit. But then there were other people in there that their parents were just like sending them
Forcing
to
them to
school.
go.
Yeah, they didn't want to be there. And I remember being in class and I remember not being like getting the 4.0s or not doing the best in class. And everyone was like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to do this. I'm like one of the few that still actually works on cars.
Yeah.
And it's like I wanted to do that. I knew I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It's about how you apply yourself, pretty much.
A lot of actually it's him.
The rotary is out.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just some people just were forced to go there by their parents. I remember I went for the tour, like the open house thing, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go here. I ended up going to a community college for 2 years and not going to LTI, and then I ended up working at a dealership while I was going to school. And I got lucky because I knew Justin, who was working there, and he got me a job. And once I got my foot in the door, and I realized, oh, you just have to get your foot in the door. Once you're in here, you're pretty much set. Because LTI, they don't give you ASCs, they don't give you anything. They just give you a certificate.
You leave with the AC.
Oh, you do.
Conditioning?
When you take the
609.
air conditioning class, you get a
Yeah,
609
that's just to handle.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can buy refrigerant.
Yeah.
Refrigerant.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's-
think trade school now, what we're in, the what's going on in life in general, it's probably not even worth going. I went back in 11.
oh, yeah.
School was 24. I think UTI now breaks half a hundred. It's like 50 grand.
50 grand for Lincoln Tech?
No, UTI.
Same shit.
I don't give a
though.
fuck.
Probably the
50
same.
grand?
I paid more for that.
Are they giving you a free car?
And it's a year program.
Yeah, I think
That's even worse.
So you're
like a
Look it up.
You're
Mal. Look
literally
it up.
just
Lincoln
setting
Tech. How
yourself
much is
up.
Lincoln Tech?
And
For
you-
debt.
Basically
Lincoln Tech
that.
and UTI.
And you think you're going to pay off that debt working at a fucking dealer?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're
Unless
gonna
you
put
know
your life
like
through
that
hell.
shit.
You're gonna want to freaking hate life, and
Nah.
then you're gonna have to figure it out.
It depends what you.
It builds character.
yeah,
It does.
It's still 32. Look
yeah,
up.
'cause
Look
when,
up.
when I went in 2014.
UTI.
That is literally my college
32?
education, bro.
Yeah,
Was
because 20.
Okay, so it's still.
23 when I went.
Okay, it's still.
When I went in
That's-
2014, it was 27.
I always thought it was around 30 grand. So yeah.
Jesus.
That's back what?
That says 22.
That's current. Oh.
All right. So Brian was wrong. Thank God. But
If you're gonna go to tech school, that's
Bruh.
a tech school.
It's
to
still
go
a
to.
lot.
yeah, it's a lot of money.
Wait,
but
Malcolm,
Is
can
that
you
in
look
New
up?
Jersey?
Somehow they
that's-
kept the price the same over the last 10 years.
I've
Which is
checked-
I
crazy.
also think
Can you look up
UTI is a
nursing?
longer
Nursing
program. The LTI is 13 months, and I think UTI is 15.
15 or 18. depending
Yeah,
on-
depending on what you're going for.
I mean, you could extend it. You could extend it if you choose like a Nissan class. If you choose BMW.
Oh,
But mine was a solid year, and then you could pick a BMW. They called it Fast Track or some other stuff.
so did UTI help you get a job at a specific dealer?
I went to the one in Orlando,
Yeah.
so I was already in Florida,
So
and
you-
Orlando was already boring. Did they help me? I wouldn't.
Would
say
they have helped you?
me? But it just, I guess, it looked good on a resume.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And dealerships idolize people that came out of UTI because it was like, I guess, better than Lincoln Tech, but I didn't know anything besides the difference.
Yeah.
But
Lincoln Tech didn't.
it helped back then. I don't know about now.
Does Lincoln Tech do
Lincoln
they
Tech
give you?
does help you get into dealerships.
Okay.
I didn't get that help because I was already working at a performance shop. But when I applied to Ramsey, that was my saving grace of getting hired.
Okay.
And my parents just bought a car.
Yeah.
Ramsey was really big on hiring anybody that was coming out of that Mawa campus.
Okay.
Like the director there just had deep ties with every single dealer up and down 17. I mean, it's funny because I didn't get my job at Nissan because of the school. I was actually picking up lunch at like Taco Bell. And the service manager had me walking out. I was in my uniform, and he just asked, "Hey, how much longer do you have in your program?" And
That's crazy.
And I said to him, "Oh, I think I have 3 months until my internship period where I can just go to work." He's like, "This is your car?" He's like, "Yeah." And at the time, I had a Mazda Protege 5 wagon, and it was clean, I guess. And he said, "Oh, it looks really well taken care of. Like, if you want, stop by after you're done at school and apply." And I got in doing quick lube there, working from 3:30 to 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. They were poaching people at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Him right there. He looks good.
It's definitely good info. Because if I was, 20 years old, 19 years old again, I heard this conversation, I would love to hear this conversation because you don't know what to do. People ask all the time, should I go to a tech school? Should I not?
I think my best opinion is what Kris said.
Yeah. His is definitely right. If you don't know anything about cars, then you probably should
And
go.
don't want to create a debt in your life.
And you got to be sure that you want to do this too.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, which is almost impossible because
It's a big investment, and it goes to anything you go to school for. What you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
So if you're okay with blowing $50,000 on a bachelor's degree of communications, congratulations. You're gonna work at Best Buy the rest of your life.
potentially, yes.
Potentially. And if you go to a tech school, you have to take it serious.
Yeah.
With anything that you're spending money on.
Okay, now, would you do it again?
I think. Hold on, someone's gonna call that.
I got Jesus over here
calling him out.
Jesus is really actually here
Dude, he's
trying to
actually
race.
talking
I
mad
sent Jesus
shit right
home
now.
in his R33 because it's too slow to get his booster card to get spanked by a simple STI.
I guess we're actually racing this shit.
I'm gonna spank the fuck out that shit.
The call out was serious.
Yeah,
I lost my train of thought.
Damn.
Speaking of call out, bro, quick little DM from Josh here. Josh DeLees, your favorite buddy. Sees garage. He's like, this guy is gonna finish a car.
Why would Josh say that shit, Malcolm?
To final bow.
Why would Josh say that shit? We had a personal fucking conversation.
Ain't no fucking way. You better hurry the fuck up.
Anyway, would you do it again? We're gonna go to every single one of you.
Do what again?
Go to a tech school, become a mechanic.
So because I had almost no knowledge, I would have to go to the tech school.
Let me ask this differently. If you could do everything again, would you still be a mechanic today? Or do you think you'd go a different route?
I'd still be. I love what I do.
Okay.
I hate the politics behind it, but I love fixing cars.
Okay. Chris, you better be careful now.
Josh said, don't tell him it was me.
Would I do it again? Yeah, I'd probably do it again.
All right.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Bryan?
I don't think I'll do the trade school again.
No.
I would just probably try to jump into a shop and shadow off of that and learn my knowledge off of that.
Okay.
I would do it again. Whole thing. Yeah, because I didn't know. Excuse me. I didn't know how to do an oil change when I got to Lincoln Tech, and now look at all the shit we do.
That's. I had a feeling that that's what happened with you, but I didn't know for sure. That's fucking crazy. So you literally did not know anything about cars, and you went to Lincoln. So you're literally the perfect example of what we were talking about. Yeah. Okay.
What cars do I fix right now? Everyone's gonna hate me for this.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Nick
Want
might
me
be.
to say it?
Go for it.
I work on Teslas right now.
Yo, I didn't know if you were allowed to say that, but that was the funniest shit ever, bro, when I saw you. Because,
In a full Tesla.
I was leaving work. I'm walking, bro.
Oh, he saw
Literally
me working on-
excruciating with fucking rage. Because every time I left that establishment, I wanted to fucking hurt
His old
somebody.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, Fiserv.
Oh, shit. Name drop.
Hell of a place to work for. I'm walking through the parking lot. Thank God, ray of sunshine right here. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck are they doing over there at Tesla? And then a couple of days earlier, I saw you, or maybe a week before, and you were like, yeah, they basically send us on these calls or whatever, and they don't know how to do anything most of the time, the owners. So I'm like looking, I'm like, yo, that might be Nick over there. So then from across the lot, I'm talking like he's 100 meters away.
Yeah.
I just go, Nick.
I'm like, who is that?
And then I purposely drive out that way and just go, yo, and then just drive out.
The best is I had to tell the customer, I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And then I think I texted you. I was like, "Yo, if someone was screaming at you, that was Carl." And then you're like,
That was
"What the fuck?"
That was one of the best experiences working on a Tesla.
All right, I'm gonna jump into some of these questions because it's been a while. Some are ridiculous as usual, and some are serious. Someone asked shipping to Canada in the future. We already do ship to Canada, so that takes care of that one.
All right, Mike Martino, bro. You could get it.
He's probably talking about body kits. We ship some body kits too.
Is that actually Martino?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think he needs to order anything.
Worst Nissan to work on?
That is a good question.
NV2000 van harness replacement. I keep bringing that up because I swear to God, I went into Chris's dealer. You remember that one van? Dude, the whole interior, not that there's a lot of interior anyway, but the whole fucking harness was out. And I was like, what the fuck?
I got one.
Well, you know, I actually have to combat that because like there is so much room in these NVs and there's almost nothing in them. Mm-hmm. So, you know, your harness consists of like, 12 wires.
Fire.
That goes. It's just, and the fact that you have all the space in the world to like just rip the harness out. Everything is exposed.
Is that a book time fiend kind of job? Like if that was book time, you could beat it?
I would say you can get close to
I'll abuse the time on that.
Yeah.
Harnesses are straight
close.
time.
Harnesses are straight time, and
get
you
paid for it.
can milk it.
But straight time meaning they're gonna charge whatever it takes them to do.
Not the book.
There's no
Like
book
2
job.
hours for saying you did a wire repair and all you did was plug in a connector to a fuel pump
Or that.
module.
More smoke.
More smoke.
Not to sidetrack, but speaking of the NV, Eddie, do you remember that time? I forgot what I was doing. This is when they made me flat rate at Ramsey. I had to install something in the back. I think it was either the divider or some lights. I had to install something, but it was 98 degrees outside.
Oh,
I let the shit run.
Cabinets.
Yeah, the cabinets. The cabinets.
He had the outfitted van.
Yeah.
Oh no.
With the cabinets and shelves and
yeah.
everything.
Dude, I turned the car on, I put the AC on blast, and it was in there for like an hour. And then my service advisor goes, "You're gonna kill everybody out here."
This van was just running in the shop for like an hour and a half, and Kris is inside with just a couple lights and just enjoying everything.
Yep.
He's got the AC just fully cranked in there. Meanwhile, we're all like getting carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yep.
Me first because I work the closest.
What do you,
I
Eddie?
don't
What do you
know
think
what
the
that is.
most pain in the ass Nissan is to work on?
I want to say Armadas.
Nick, you don't think so?
It depends on the repair you're doing. Because like Armadas, the AC lines that tuck under the frame is terrible. If you've ever had to do that, there's one Infinity that is the absolute worst. The QX30, which is a Mercedes GLA.
That's
Well,
why.
there's the
I
problem.
want you
It's
to
a
put
Mercedes.
that
Yeah,
mic
that
in
is the
your
worst
mouth.
one.
Oh yeah.
Put the mic in your mouth.
The QX30 that is a Mercedes GLA is like the worst one to work on.
Yeah, I
because
remember
it's
when you
not
told
a
me that
Nissan.
shit. I was like,
had
what?
The body harness, the interior harness is the entire car has to come apart to replace that. And then also I've seen like, dude, I had one where there was oil leaking through the harness into the ECM. The car would not turn on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I take the connector off for the ECU and there's just oil in the ECU.
How did it even get there?
Dude, it ran through from the PCV valve all the way to the ECU.
Through the harness.
Through the harness. I was like, I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of impressive in itself.
It's a Mercedes.
It's kind of
thing.
impressive
Yeah.
that you found that too. To be honest with you, that's kind
The
of
best
crazy.
is I left that dealership to go to Tesla, and I left that car there like that.
You have a habit of doing that, Nick.
Hey, remember the Maxima?
No,
Bergenfield.
Bergenfield?
remind me.
You don't want to be reminded.
I remember leaving Bergenfield with a dirty floor, and that's
Massey wanted to
was
kill.
blowing up
No,
my phone. For
he
that
wanted
one.
to murder you for this Maxima. I don't remember what job it was.
Oh, it was the Bluetooth wasn't working, and I left it there like that.
You left it all apart, I think. Everything was off on that.
Oh, and Massie said, "No, I'm waiting for Nick to get back and fix it." And we're like, "I don't think he's coming back."
My toolbox is not there.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, he'll come back." And we're like, "Okay."
Never came back.
Yeah, he never came back. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with 300 ZX.
I don't know.
I think the difference between me and then you three is that you guys see all
New-
newer Nissans.
Yeah.
I deal with the old piece of shits. So I still think it's Z32.
What do you think,
Honestly.
Brian?
I'm gonna still go with the Armada, and if you need to do anything with an MV, but the big MV, I think it's the 2500.
2500.
Any tall.
Any tall
Any
MV
tall MV.
that you got to work on, just as simple as setting it up on the lift, it's annoying. Even if you're doing an oil change, you got to set that big ass van on a lift and try to make it. It also depends how big the shop is.
Yeah.
If you got a big shop, okay, maybe it's gonna be easier. But where I'm at, it's like this is the way we're sitting is how tight our lifts are.
That's like putting my truck on the lift. It's a
So
nightmare.
try to get your truck going this way to now this way.
Yeah, it's
and up in the air.
Not fun.
Yeah.
You worked at GM for a minute, Nick. How was that? Because all those motherfucker trucks are big.
Oh,
I worked at Cadillac.
I worked at Cadillac.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but I was a loop tech, thank God.
Okay.
But it was like every oil change was an Escalade, and then I remember one time they had me do a tire rotation. It used to be a Hummer dealership. I did an H2 Hummer tire rotation. Yo,
You're like, what the hell is
I
this?
was young back then, and I fucking
And they're
could
like
not
8
do
lug
it.
nuts.
You
or
couldn't
something?
do it?
I did it, but I was like, dude, I can't do this shit every day.
Should have brought your roll car.
You couldn't lift the.
Should have brought your roll
What, the
cart,
wheel?
put the wheel on the roll cart, and then
Oh,
Rolled it over.
just smack it on.
That would get annoying as fuck, honestly.
I think the best car for Nissan I got right now, well, was until I ran into an issue. I think the Frontiers.
Are good, you're saying?
You barely see them in the dealership.
That's probably
In my opinion.
Yeah, it's they're newer. They have a new model now, but I was gonna say they were the oldest model, but I guess they just changed it like
VQ.
VQ 440
38.
3.8.
The only VQ left.
Yeah.
Those trucks are badass. Just for the fact that you barely see them in the dealership. And if you do this for an oil change, tire rotation.
they got
Yeah.
the Chris Forsberg edition.
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to God. That's awesome.
Someone said, out of all the professions in the world, why choose to be a Nissan technician?
Oh, I can know this one.
Real quick, I'll go first. Like we said from the beginning of this episode, when I hit the 115 hours, that's why I stuck to my Nissan.
Yeah.
No, he's right. The cars break a lot.
Oh,
I
okay.
came from Honda to Nissan, and I was like, wait, these cars break a lot, so that means there's a lot to fix.
Yeah.
So work at a
And they're easy to
Maserati
fix.
dealer is what you're saying?
No, do not work at a
No.
Maserati dealer.
Don't
Pick
do a
one where it's all
high-end.
broken and shit. So Hyundai.
I think I
Breaks
worked
a
at
lot, easy to fix.
I think I worked at Nissan because we all fucked with Nissans, and I was like, oh, if I work here, I can get parts here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to figure out. But what about you, Eddie? Oh, you got hooked up. Oh, actually, yeah, the first job you got, what dealership was that?
That was Ramsey. I was there
Oh,
for
okay, so
like
you
10
kind
years.
of yeah, so you got a hook up with that job, and then the guy saw you at Taco Bell, and then you just stayed there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if it was a Mercedes guy, you would have worked at Mercedes.
Yeah.
Like,
You caught you
It's
eating
kind
a
of,
burrito or
you know,
something?
I always like Nissans. You know, the car that made me fall in love with Nissans was a Nissan Sentra SER Spec V,
yeah.
and I really liked it. You know, it was 2.5 4-cylinder 6-speed manual, and it had Brembo brakes. And I just
That's SR, right?
no a QR
QR.
Ultima motor.
That's like a 2005 one.
It's the
Yeah.
newer one,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bubbly one.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, and
I like that engine too, though. I mean, reliability
and
wise.
it Kim's factory with an LSD.
Oh wow.
Which is, you know, it was a lot of fun to drive. And that car actually made me fall in love with the
Yeah.
brand.
Chris, I'd ask you, but you worked at you probably didn't even care about Nissan, honestly.
Yeah, you work at the
I mean, I
greatest
did have
Nissan
a-
shop ever now.
I did have an opportunity. I got poached for Hyundai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to replace engines all day. Fuck that.
You're replacing an engine for 2 hours or 3
Yeah,
hours
it's
pay.
bad.
What?
Warranty.
Yeah.
That's what they pay.
That's what they pay.
Dude, I knew this one kid who was
That's
doing
disgusting.
like transmissions all the fucking time.
That's Nissan.
No.
Yeah, Nissan, you
Hyundai.
can make money off your transmissions.
No, he was in Hyundai.
Probably getting paid 4 hours.
Horrible.
Yeah, disgusting.
Horrible.
We see them all day. And I laugh at it. I'm like, you're doing a 4-hour trans. I'm doing a
8.
Ultima cash, 13 hours.
Damn.
And it's probably way easier than what you're doing.
And even then, like, you know, the Ultima warranty book times, you're
not even
getting
bad.
almost 8.5, 9 hours
Which is
to
a day's
replace the
worth.
trans. And, you know, if you actually get good on it, you can do 2 of them in a day if you really want
You could do you could do one of those in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
I do Pathfinders in midday.
The whole thing.
A Pathfinder trans, yeah.
Yeah.
13 hours.
That's pretty good. And they're all
Pathfinder today is a good, it's a long day, but it can be done, you know. Ultima, they practically fall out, you know.
those CVT transmissions, bro.
Ultimas and Sentras.
Yeah.
Sentras, when you don't have to remove a subframe to get it out, it's like, this is gold.
What's the best way to bleed a VQ cooling system? Nick goes, I know this one.
I know the whole procedure by heart.
Okay.
The first thing you got to do is fill it with coolant, then the little bleeder knob on the back.
The
You open it.
heater core hose.
The heater core hose. Only
Passenger side, right?
the 35s have it though. You gotta open it up, let all the bubbles come out. As soon as you see it's just coolant, close it, run the car for like 20 minutes, like rev it for at $3,000, let it go, then let it sit. You open the valve again and see if it's only coolant or if there's still air in it. You just gotta keep doing it.
So you're not even doing the whole.
Do not lift the car.
Oof.
Do not lift the front of the car. I did that to my car once. It started overheating.
Yeah, because that bleed valve is actually the highest point.
Highest point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, someone should have told us that.
Yeah,
No.
trust me. I remember one time I was bleeding this M35, bro. This was one of the funniest cars I ever fixed. This guy comes in with an M35. He goes, "Yeah, my car only overheats on Saturday." I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? But I'm trying to bleed the car, and back then I thought you had to open the bleeder with the car running, bro. And you know how they get brittle?
Yeah.
Bro, I tighten it, the engine's running, that shit snaps, and all the coolant just comes out of the car.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Is he at the dealer at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in my bay with me, and I had to get my manager to kick him out. It was just so funny. I'm like, bro, your car does not know what day of the week it is.
He was going to see Shorty on a Saturday, and she lived on a hill. That's what it was.
My shit only overheats on Saturday.
Bro, I remember totaling that car out. That was so funny.
Totaling it?
Yeah, he came back trying to say some bullshit. He goes, "Yeah, I dropped coins in the." That shit had a Christmas tree on it when he came back. It had every light on it. It wasn't related to what I did, but he's like, "Yeah, I dropped coins in the power socket, and all these lights came on." They're like, "Yo, do what you got to do." I was like, "All right, it needs a BCM, an ECM, this harness, that harness, all this shit. You want your car totaled? I got you, bro." And I remember taking parts off the car once I was told it was totaled. But it's like,
awesome.
No.
it's just those stupid shit you see at the dealer, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's funny. That was
lot of
actually
stupid shit.
That's 2 questions in here. Best way to bleed a VQ coolant system. So maybe you guys just gave everyone a some useful info. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Me and Kris been bleeding it differently than that and haven't really ran into a
It's
problem.
just the
We don't really, we don't never lift it. We just put it in the driveway.
I mean, we do crack that valve in the back,
Yeah.
what sucks is only
That's really the key.
the thing is the HR 3.5s and the 3.7s don't have the bleeder valve in the back, and that's what'll mess you up. Only like the early gen VQs.
So what do you do with the ones that don't have it?
Honestly, my suggestion is go on Z1 and buy the valve and just replace it. It's super easy to do. I just did one.
Oh, so they make one.
So that way
and
you
install
can,
it.
and it's aluminum.
You can put the valve in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put the valve in and it makes your life so much easier.
You can also get the metal one because they
the
come
metal one
factory
is better.
plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the plastic ones suck.
That is
for
the
sure.
one failure point of every VQ.
Yeah.
For a cooling system, it will
Actually, any
crack.
VQ. Yeah, the exterior has the plastic one. Had
Really?
the plastic one. Yeah.
Of the firewall.
And the firewall, yeah. But somebody had already did the Z1 one.
Those are notorious for breaking those hoses back there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just crack and then the hose separates, the engine overheats.
Yeah, you look at it, it breaks.
Yeah.
Legit.
Pretty much. I think I grazed like my knuckles on one and like, boom, coolant everywhere.
We used to replace, because for some reason Nissan sells it with the hose and we used to just do both hoses. That shit is the worst.
There's so many questions in here. I'm just trying to pick them. Like, I would love to do all of them, but there's too many.
Not like hardest repair you've ever done.
Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet. Are you driving
my
with the
God,
top down or
no.
up?
You remember when we replaced the
You
top?
ride that with
Guys,
the top.
you ride
with
that,
the
you
top
set it
up.
on fire, is what you do.
You pour gas in it with the top down.
Yeah.
You set it with the top up so you don't convert it. And you leave it like that for the remaining of the life that you own that car. Because once that shit takes the shit, I don't think you're gonna have the money to repair that.
Wait, so really they break all?
They're so fragile.
Worse.
The part is $15,000.
$15,000?
Yeah,
$15,000
That car's garbage.
the
I'd rather buy 15,000 McDoubles. Fuck that. Oh my!
Where are you getting a McDouble for $1?
Nowhere. Me and Kris just used to say that back when we first
We
became
replaced one of those
friends.
tops at Elite. I remember that.
Someone actually
It was
paid?
warranted,
Oh.
thank God, bro. I remember the service manual says you need 6 people to lift that shit.
It says it in the owner's
It says
manual.
6 people.
It says if the top ever becomes stuck, you're gonna need 6 people to open it. Mm-hmm. Because
Oh
they
my
didn't want you
God.
closing it again. They
I remember-
just wanted you to tuck it in the trunk, and that's it.
I remember I had to do a PDI on one of those when they first came out, and I was like, don't make me go get gas in this.
They're-
And they're like, no, you gotta go with the top down.
You
too.
probably look like the craziest
Please don't
lesbian
make me-
ever.
Literally. I was like, please don't make me go do this shit. They're like, no, you got to do it. I'm like, all right.
I don't know why they did that.
And the owners of
That had to be
those
swinging.
convertibles are so weird. Because I just remember this rash of like a month, and it was January, and we had 4 of them show up, and they all said, my top isn't working, and I'm just like, it's 20 degrees outside. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's pretty mind-blowing.
One question just says, does the pain ever end?
No.
No,
No.
no.
That's crazy.
It gets worse.
What if Nissan changed their name to Nisbussy, and instead of selling cars, they stroked it?
Wait, what?
This is, they stroked it.
I mean, kudos creativity. I like
This is what I'm
10
talking
out of
about.
10 right there.
That brings me to another question, which was, is Nissan dying off in the car market? What can they do better?
So I'm a firm believer that Nissan's not going to go anywhere.
All right.
They can't, and they have plenty of money. The thing with Nissan, and you'll see it across other car brands, is Nissan will always produce a Nissan. They won't rebadge something.
Oh, yeah. That's except that Mercedes.
Well, so the funny thing about that Mercedes collaboration is Mercedes wanted the VVEL system.
Oh, so they made a deal.
So they made a deal, and so they wanted the VVEL system, and they wanted a pickup truck for the European market.
And Infiniti was like, and we want a car that actually
And
works.
so we want an entry level like SUV. So, in Europe, there are rebadged Frontiers as Mercedes.
Oh, wow.
Then they got the VVEL system in different.
That's so
in different
weird to think of a
models,
Mercedes driving around that's a fucking Frontier.
and it's a Frontier.
That's just badass, though, in my opinion.
I'd be like, I bought the ugliest fucking interior Mercedes I ever could find.
But your truck ain't breaking.
Yeah, true.
It's not.
It ain't
you
gonna
can't-
break.
You can't break one of them.
Yeah.
It's
Like
I'm telling you, I stand behind it. Frontier's a badass truck. It
Chris
might be
Ford, Berg
ugly,
edition.
but those trucks are.
They might be ugly.
Bro,
Those trucks are good.
Nissan probably has the best rear-wheel drive transmission
Yes.
on the market.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the CD000, but yeah.
I don't know about
we don't talk about that.
9-speed auto.
Yeah.
CD000?
Any automatic rear-wheel
Oh.
drive transmission.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm good.
But also the Z transmission is good too. I mean, everyone uses it.
Yeah, the 7-speed, or not the automatic, but the manual.
Like everyone uses that in other cars. I mean,
Yeah.
you got one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they make some good stuff, but least favorite job to do on a
We gotta
VQ
go back
powered.
to the last question.
What was it?
What can Nissan do?
Yes.
Same
Yeah,
stuff?
I want to hear Nick's opinion on
They
this.
need to bring back all the rear-wheel drive Infinities and stop with this CVT. Was it VC turbo shit? Like, bring back the FX truck. Where's my Q50? Where's the Q60?
The FX was such a badass
Dude,
truck.
the fact that they kept going with the Murano and didn't keep the FX truck, it's like, bro, you had a SUV.
I didn't realize they got rid of that thing.
So
Dude, in
there
2017.
was a variant of the FX that you got a 5-liter V8
Yes.
with 4-wheel steering.
Oh wow.
I don't want any of that.
No, it was good.
The normal FX had a VQ. That was the best thing about it. It was like a VQ,
Dude, but-
and the lights were so small.
It
That
was
shit
a-
looked sick.
I'm sorry. It was a 5.0 liter twin intake VVEL. It had like 420 horsepower. It was fast.
It was-
It is fast.
And
it was badass.
What year was that?
Dude, it was a rare car. I think it was like 09 to 12.
Yeah, something early
super
on.
rare.
So instead of those cars now, they have that Mercedes thing, or they just have nothing?
The Mercedes is gone now.
They actually,
as well.
I remember they said they were bringing back the FX style with the QX55, but that ended up being a front wheel drive CVT VC turbo.
Where's the S16?
Yeah, what about that?
Good question.
Wait, what are we doing?
Maybe now with this new CEO, younger-minded CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. I'm pretty sure the BRZ, the FRS, I think those cars are selling pretty well. Like, what are they
Well,
waiting
they
for?
have
Sales.
nothing else to compete with right now.
Yeah, like I don't get it.
Get
I feel
me
like
in
it's a
there.
good time, especially since their sports car right now is fucking $50,000 or whatever it is.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're lucky if you could buy a fucking Z for 50,000.
They
Yeah.
start at 40 something. The base model though, like you get
Like base.
Dude, imagine they came
Small
out with an
brakes.
S16 and it didn't look like shit, and they had like, even if I don't care if it's, I don't want it to be a hybrid, but even if it was, like,
rear-wheel
that
drive,
shit would sell.
manual.
I'd be so scared that it would come out
Looking ugly?
like shit.
yeah, I know it's scary.
And guess what? I'm buying the Toyota 10 out of 10 times, bro.
That new GR86, bro.
Yeah, if it's
hot.
turbo now too, the next one,
hot.
if it's that one's turbo,
fingers
that's
crossed
the
they
one.
put that 3-cylinder turbo in that fucking new GR86. That's what I'm hoping for.
Then Frankie's buying one.
That would be cool. I don't get the whole like. So we had a GR Corolla in the shop the other day, and I was like,
Badass.
this is a nice ass car.
Yeah.
And they actually made it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they actually make the other ones? Like the Supra, that was a joke. Like
Absolutely.
that was fucking embarrassing. And then the FRS, I'm like looking under there, I'm like, this is a fucking Subaru.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything.
To me, it's like a Subaru. Yeah. It's a nice car. The GR86 is a nice car, but I don't know. Just weird. S16 is needed. That was one of the questions in here. What's your opinion on 100 men versus one gorilla? Who would win? I need Brian's take on this.
I don't even know, bro. That gorilla's gonna fuck everybody up.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends what gorilla, but I don't know. Gorilla ain't gonna die. How you gonna kill it? If there's weapons involved?
No.
Yeah, when a human ain't winning.
But with 100 of them,
It still ain't winning.
The
you think they'll
first-
just throw them off?
The first one dies.
He's gonna smack 5 with one slap.
yeah.
Dude, you're at 95. Second slap, you're at 85. So that's light.
The first
Nah.
human dies from that gorilla, and the other 99 humans will be like, yo, I don't know about this one. Because we're smarter than that.
Well, they always say the first 10 to 20 people are just going to be cannon fodder, and then the other ones are going to
They're
get
gonna
on.
be pawns.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
other, they're
You
just got to
die.
like swarm them.
100 people, you could encase a gorilla if you all like human chain like this.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. It's a hard one for me. I don't know.
Bro, gorillas got like the way we got strength in our feet is in their arms.
Yeah, they're insane.
You're gonna get not smacked, but kicked into the. You're gonna get kicked in the face.
Chris, what do you think?
Where's the environment you're fighting at?
The environment?
Yeah. That's important.
The fucking
important.
the fucking Lincoln Tech parking lot.
Yeah, GG's.
Parking lot.
Miyagi wins.
Yeah,
GG's chat.
If it's Miyagi's in there, yeah, we're good.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
How big is the gorilla?
It's full size.
I'll
Silverback.
act like a goat, and I just act like I'm dead.
Malcolm, what do you
You
think?
can leave me alone.
Honestly, I think the humans are winning. 100 versus one.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans.
All right. All right, cool. Oh, this is Wags. How often do dealer mechanics not complete the service they were paid to do correctly? I think we kind of covered that with the
So
smoke
basically,
thing.
another point, rephrasing the question: how often do we not do multi points?
How often do dealer mechanics not complete the service they were paid to do correctly? Or you're saying multi points? Yeah.
Like, you know,
Like
a customer
maintenance?
comes in and does like, you know, they want to do like a 30K or something like that.
Oh fuck! I can't answer this.
I say,
You work at Tesla.
I'm gonna go with that does happen.
it does happen, and it's more a time crunch
Yeah.
issue. I feel it's more, you know, the customer wants it done or the advisor wants it done, and the time frame
Yeah.
in which you need it done alongside other
Yeah.
tasks. You have to make it work.
You know why I think he's asking this? Because he brought us his Cadillac to do a trans flush the other day. And apparently, if you don't flush it correctly, like there's still metal in there, and the trans is a GM, and it like
Oh, that's your
bucks or
first
something.
problem.
Yeah.
You
But
gotta pull the filters or whatever out.
he said when we did it, it felt better. But when they did it the first time, it felt exactly the same. And I was
Well,
like,
yeah,
well, I
you
mean,
know, a real transmission flush, and you know, for any car is you want to pull the line off the cooler and run the car.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna get everything out of the radiator, the transmission, the torque converter, which holds most of it.
Yeah, I think him having it done twice is what really helped it.
Yo, that's the way I did it. Hey, sign me in.
I got a story for you. I was doing at Bergenfield Nissan. I was doing like a 30K or something like that.
You just did the oil change.
I did the oil change, and then there was a brake flush on there. Oh no, it was not 30K. It was like a 60 or 75K. But I had to do a brake flush. I go grab the machine. Massie calls me. What are you doing? I gotta do a brake flush. Nah, empty the reservoir and fill it up. I was like, all right.
And that's the shop for
When
me.
you shop for me, just empty the reservoir, spray with some spray 9 brake clean, and put some fluid in. Brake flush done.
Yep. So it depends on the dealer you go to, and depends on if you know people probably.
The guilt is setting in.
Yeah.
But you also can't go to a dealership, say you want a 90K or whatever the case may be, whatever. You want mad upsells on your car. It's like, yeah, I want all this done to my car. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. But I got a doctor's appointment at 10:30.
Oh yeah, that's on you then. Yeah.
No, it's gonna get done. I guarantee it. But is that brake flush gonna be done? Is that cooling flush gonna be done? Is that trans service gonna be done? Yeah, it was done all right.
Yeah, we
I'll
changed
get
the air
paid off
filter.
of, you know, my little stickers on the BG. Put them to the side. I get paid on them.
Yeah, we changed the air filter.
But you can't just assume you're gonna get mad work done and you're rushing the tech to get it done at a certain time.
I think as a flat rate tech, you gotta do what you gotta do to get paid.
That's what
the
kind of
memo.
ruins the whole dealership thing for the customers and for the mechanics. So, you know, the flat rate thing, the flat rate needed to be changed fucking 40 years ago, and it still hasn't been changed.
Flat rate will literally make you or break you.
Yeah, I mean, the
Whether you
guarantee
figure
thing
it
does
out
help.
Or you just gonna suffer.
Yeah.
You're literally gonna suffer. Which you might not suffer, but you're gonna suffer because you're gonna have no money.
Yeah.
It's not for the weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you have to not only work fast, but it's got to be correct.
Yeah.
Because if you mess something up, then hey, guess what? Now you're fixing this car and you're not getting paid on it. And if your dealership is, you know, really like a bunch of assholes about comebacks and stuff like that, oh, you know what? Whatever parts you got to use now, it's coming out of your check.
And they'll make you pay for it.
Yeah, some places will do that.
Well, we're gonna end this on a bad note. No, we're gonna end it on a good note. Carl, you got a book this weekend at Final
Nope,
Bout?
we're gonna save this for a different episode. It has nothing to do with what we just talked about. Yo, if you work at DCH Honda, my mom services her car there. Let me catch you doing any of this bullshit we talked here today. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. White Honda CRV. Don't fuck with that one.
You can't say white CRV. You gotta maybe throw a plate number.
No,
in
I'm
there.
not gonna. Because it probably is gonna
No,
happen,
yeah,
and
don't
it
do
probably
that.
has happened to her. Unfortunately, she's the type of customer where that would probably happen to her.
And it sucks because it's really has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Well,
Try-
dude.
and you know, I'll tell you, you know, working as long as I've been in the dealerships, we definitely do our best to keep everything on the up and up. But you're gonna have your bad apples out there who are just gonna want a flat rate, and all they care about is their paycheck at the end of the week.
Yeah, they're not viewing the car as
They're,
actual.
they're not viewing the cars, and yeah, you know what? I
Person's
respect
car.
it. You want to get paid, cool, but at least have the respect in the industry to do it right.
And on that
I've
note,
heard of technicians they said they did tire rotation, and they'll like swap the center caps or the hubcaps. Yeah. That
pretty
kind of
bad.
lazy shit.
that's bad.
Yeah,
Just for the fact customers mark their tires.
I love
So
when
I give 'em
customers
that.
mark their tires.
Yeah.
I had a customer mark their hubcaps. They marked their hubcaps, and I said, "Well, you don't need a tire rotation." They said, "Well, I'm paying for it." So I took off the hubcaps and rotated them, just to make them feel better. You know, they wanted to put, you know,
You're just like, you
know,
literally don't need.
yeah, more worn tires.
Yeah.
in their drive wheels.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a rotation. You know, if you want to spend the money, do it something else. Hey, you need a filter, you need this. But they were headstrong about getting the tire rotation. I said, okay, cool. And I took off the 4 hubcaps and rotated them because the car didn't need a rotation. I was just wanted him to just stop bitching.
Yeah.
I mind fucked the customer once. They marked their tires with like, I don't know, I guess probably tire chalk, but that's what I used. So they marked each 4 of them on the inner side of the tire, like the dash. So I rotated them, still did the rotation, and I added 2 more dash. So it was like 1 dash and I added 2 next to them. So now they all had 3 dashes. They got the car back and they were like, oh, you know, your tech didn't rotate my tires. And I was just like, I actually rotated your tires. I was like, how you know I didn't rotate? He's all because I have a dash on them. Just like, yeah, you have 1. I gave you 2 more. And if you don't believe me, you can ask my manager to show you the camera that I rotated. But the whole tire marking thing, I guess, you know, you've been fucked somewhere else, but you're not going to catch me with that.
Yeah, a couple bad apples.
I give them
everybody.
Yeah.
Give them the credit for actually laying down on the floor, getting inside the tire, and putting a dash mark on the inside of the tire.
Could have just rotated your tires.
It's psychotic work.
You could have just done that yourself. You get a jack, take off 1 tire, boom, swap, and you could have just done your tire rotation.
It's one thing to like just mark it on the outside. This guy went the extra mile.
Yeah. And all 4 of them were on the inside of the tire. Like this is cute.
Well, I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm glad we finally did it. I feel like we've been trying to do this for like over a year, but I think there's a lot of good information in this podcast, and thank you guys for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And hopefully
Thanks
we
for
do it
having
again
us.
another time, sometime. See if you guys are still working by the time we get back.
Yeah, for real. Now
Hopefully
there's going to
not.
be no car. There's going to be no dealers left.
Just for the record, you all said you would do it again.
I would do it again.
I'd do it again.
Yeah, we all heard that. So
I think that
But if I get
LTI
rich
step-
between now and when you want to do this next podcast, you know,
you're gonna be out.
I just need to experience hourly rate.
Yeah,
I would love to be hourly.
That's
I
the
know.
thing.
That's what Nick is right now.
Flat rate is you start losing hair, bro.
That'll be the next conversation that we come back to. We'll do flat rate versus hourly.
That's the first conversation. Yeah,
I
flat
think
rate.
that LTI route is not good.
Yeah, I know. You don't agree with that.
Yeah. I know, a bunch of bullshit. You just got to go hang out with somebody who went to LTI.
As long as you can get your foot in the door.
Which was Kris. Kris would trickle down that information to me.
Yeah.
Wherever.
All right. Let's go eat.
All right, guys. This has been another episode. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy. We're going to crack this book open on the next one.
Next one. Final bout.
Matt Geggy's Cardiac Arrest, Final Bout, World Tour book. We're going to go check that out on the next one. Sorry, Mac. And good night.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Dude, the tunes? The tunes? That was brilliant. Yeah, I had like 40 years.
Whoa, Nissan dealership life, huh?
Yeah, what'd you think about that? Because you were there that whole time.
God
so.
bless anybody who brings their car to a dealership.
That's what I was thinking at the end. I was like, maybe they shouldn't have said all that. Like, that was a lot of.
That's on them.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, maybe a little bit too much information, guys. But I mean, it's like anything. I mean, if you, the podcast I don't want to hear, the chefs in the back of a Chili's restaurant. That's the podcast I don't want to hear. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, oh, bro, I put my ball sack on everything. Like, I don't want to know. Like, whatever you're doing to my food, I don't want to know. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if regular people are bringing their cars to a dealership, like, it is what it is. Like, that's what happens. You know?
That's crazy.
What? It's like valeting your car. Like, you really think?
Yeah,
you
but
really-
hey, not all dealerships are like that.
No, not
Just
all of them.
the struggling dealerships are
probably 70% of them are like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe in the South it's different. They're nicer down there, right?
I just want you guys to know, Faction Motorsports is not a dealership.
No, we are not a dealership.
We are
No.
way better. So
Yeah, we pretty much do the exact opposite of whatever the hell that conversation
that's why
was.
those guys work at the dealership.
There's a reason I didn't hire any of them, all right? Only Kris was the one out of all of them. No, I honestly wish I could hire Nick, Bryan, Eddie. There's been times where I wish I could hire all of them because they're really smart, but they're just stuck in a place where they're like, I mean, the pay's good, they got health benefits, this and that, but you know, they're not working on performance shit all day. They're working on fucking Ultimas and this and that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks, but it's weird. When I asked them that question, I did not expect the answer I got.
Oh, would they do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
All of them said yes.
I mean, I feel like if they wouldn't do it again, they would be out of that industry already, and they're all still in the industry.
Yeah, like I mean, I
So
could
they love it.
I mean, I could understand Kris. Obviously, working here, it's probably a fucking dream. I'm sorry to say it, but it probably is.
Yeah.
And Eddie, I could understand because he's basically a foreman, so
Yeah.
he's getting paid a lot of money. Nick and Bryan was the one that I wanted to hear because Bryan's had experience working at other jobs.
Yeah, he stopped the dealership life for a minute, worked at FedEx, and then went back.
Yeah,
to the
and
dealership.
so he got a taste of like union fucking off at
Yeah,
work. You barely
good
doing
pay.
any work, this and that, and he still was like. I also think once you get into the dealer like Bryan has way too much fun at work. He has to. He's a character. So like when you're surrounded by people and you all have that energy, like it's a fun time. So yeah, it's a hard life decision to make, but I think if you guys are looking for a career choice, I don't think it's a bad one. Some of the best jobs I ever had in my life were at car dealerships for sure.
And if you love being a mechanic, you're gonna find the place that you're gonna feel the most comfortable and feel like it's your home,
And you can always change what you do at a dealership.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, you know what, I kind of want to become a service writer. Someone is probably going to be like, if you're actually competent and good at your job, they're probably going to be like, oh yeah, we'll start training you. If you're trying to get out of this and you're thinking about leaving, well, we'll start training you to be a service advisor.
Yeah. There's a lot of room for growth at a dealership.
Or you could sell cars and do coke in the bathroom.
Make $150,000.
Yeah, or nothing.
Or nothing. You just spent it all on coke.
Or it just depends on the season.
I sold one car this month.
Yeah. Just make sure wherever you're going, just make sure it's a good dealership with a good reputation. And that's pretty much all the advice I got for you on that. But just so you guys know, Jesus and Bryan did race after this podcast. We saw it in real time, and Bryan smoked his ass. So
that was a sick race.
But Jesus would not agree. So I think it's going to be another rematch eventually.
Yeah, they need a rematch. They need to get on the tarmac, the strip.
Guys, if you haven't heard, we are doing a Thrash Racing seat giveaway for the month of April. What this means is every $5 spent on the website gets you one entry, and any Faction merchandise products gets you double entries. So, and this isn't just a Thrash Racing seat we have in stock. This is, if you want a special order one, you can special order one. Correct. There's some left in California, I just heard today, so I got a list of those. So, wherever you want to, if you want to wait for one, that's fine. If you want to grab one and get it sooner, that's fine too. Just spend $5 on the website and you are entered to win.
Yes, like Frankie said, we have a website to order parts on, FactionMotorsports.com. We sell everything from general maintenance stuff like brake pads and rotors to engine mounts to seals for any all seals for SR20, to racing seats like Thrash. So
a lot of Nissan parts on
Nissan parts on the website. So we are a parts retailer. Don't forget, order on our website. If we don't have what you're looking for on our website, give us an email. We might be able to source it for you.
Yeah, and if you guys are local, feel free to come in. We have a full speed shop here with all parts in stock. We got a lot of Nissan parts in stock. If you guys have 240s and you're local to us, we probably have it. And if you have a 240 and you're local to us and you haven't been here, you probably should just stop in. I heard about some guy the other day. He's like, oh yeah, my buddy's got a 240. He lives down the street. I was like, we don't know him.
What the heck?
Like, he should just come in here anyway and just take a look around. He's probably find something he wants, or could get some information from us, or, just know where he can go if he needs some help with something.
Yes.
I know a lot of people work on their own cars, but...
Yes, we have a lot of parts in stock here, a lot of OEM Nissan parts in stock in the shop. So if you're local and need to pick something up, come through. Also in stock, we have a lot of Origin Aero in the back right now. A lot of fenders for 180SX, a lot of Type 3s. Got some S14, 8.6 stuff. We also have our Origin container coming in
July.
in the next month or month and a half.
It's on schedule for July. We'll see what happens with that.
Yes,
but it's going to be a lot of stuff.
Yes, if you're interested in seeing what the contents is in that container, give us a call, give us an email. We'll see if we got what you're looking for, and you could do a little pre-order.
Yeah, definitely want to pre-order that stuff because we only got, I want to say, like a couple of each body kit. So once they're gone, and they're probably not going to come back for another few months because It is not cheap to import that many Origin Labo parts.
Yeah.
Guys, if you can't afford it right now, don't worry. Affirm's got your back. We have Affirm on the website. So what this means is you can get the parts you need ASAP and you can pay for them later. So check out Affirm when you're placing your orders. And as far as merch, man, we don't really have much merch right now. But
Yeah, but good news, we did go through our merch yesterday. We got counts of everything, so we will be placing a merch order very soon, probably before the end of the week. So for those of you who've been looking for that one shirt that we've had out of stock for the longest, like that SR20 shirt, we will have it in stock very soon. Hopefully in time for the next big event. So,
and that's like that's my favorite shirt, but that's the one that what do they call it when they don't screen print it? It's screen printing, but it's something else. Discharge or something.
Discharge.
Yeah, so it's like
an extra process where it sinks into the fabric or something.
it's really smooth. It's not going to like crack and all that. That's
Yeah.
any shirts that we have that we can do that on. We have our printer doing that right now. So we're just trying to sell the highest quality merch we can. I guess another thing we should mention is we do have a full service center here. So
Yes.
yeah, guys, if you need your cars worked on, if you need, Kris was saying today, he's like, I need some general maintenance work in this shop, man. I need to be doing some brakes on a fucking Hyundai. Like, I just want to be doing something normal. I'm tired of putting SR20s in every week.
Pulling them out.
So let's make Kris happy. If you guys are local to us and you got friends that live over here and they just need, their parents' cars worked on or some shit like that, send them over. We do alignments, we do tire mounting, balancing, we do suspension overhauls, we do everything. Brakes.
We yearn for a nice coilover install at least once a week. Give us that, guys.
Yeah, those are the best ones. And vapor honing and zinc plating, we do that now.
Yes.
How's that been going?
It's been going good. Our boy Lewis has been in the lab after hours, vapor honing some, engine parts for an Evo. So it's going well, coming out nice.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to see a little inside look at the vapor hone stuff, we do have a few videos on our YouTube that can, you can get some information out of. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. We have a lot of information on there, a lot of random videos, a lot of fun stuff. So give that a look.
Please check out our YouTube, guys. We have been pushing media even more lately. We've been doing videos, multiple videos a week. Just make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you can. Well, we can't forget about the sponsors.
Limitless Auto.
Which one?
We'll start with East Coast Drift School.
Yes, East Coast Drift School. This is your number one spot for drifting. If you are in the New Jersey area, tri-state area, fuck it. If you're in Delaware, drive up. This is gonna be the best track. If you're in fucking South Carolina, you should be driving up here. This is the best track.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
This is the
10
best
hours?
track. I mean, I've driven down to. Okay, well, Virginia's got some good tracks, but dude, nothing beats Raceway Park. Like that's basically. I don't want to say it, but that's the best drifting track in the country.
If the LZ World Tour has to drive that track, it must be a good track.
Yep. If Formula D's going there every year, it must be something they're coming for. So, East Coast Drift School gets you private drifting lessons and private track time every month. So make sure you check them out on Instagram and leave them a follow, leave them a comment, tell them you heard of them through the After Hours podcast. Anything that can help us. I talked to Kris recently. He said they got some openings, but it's busy season, so
yeah, very nice.
It's gonna fill up pretty quick.
Yes, and also thank you to our other sponsor, Limitless Auto Fab. They make a lot of bash bars for 240, BMW, Miata, front and rear bash bars. They also make catch cans, PCV delete fittings for K24.
We got to order some of those bash bars actually, because Anthony's car too. He needs those.
Yeah, we have some in stock already actually. So
yeah, we're probably. Oh, you do have some, but we're probably going to be ordering more too for stock. So if you guys need those local, or you know anyone who needs a bash bar, and guys, if you don't have a bash bar on your 240, what the fuck are you doing? Your buddy's going to crash into you. Ask me how I know. I've crashed into my friends and I've ruined their days, and they didn't have a bash bar. So actually, I didn't. I fucked my whole car up. So. Yeah, you need one of those. If you don't have it, the smallest fender bender is going to turn into a nightmare repair. You're going to have to change your fucking radiator support, everything else. So make sure you have a bash bar on there. The stock ones are too big and bulky to fit aftermarket bumpers, so you want to get a nice aftermarket one. And last thing, please leave a review. If you've been enjoying this podcast, leave us a review. If there's any guests that you want us to hear, let us know.
Yeah. And last but not least, our last sponsor, Chase Bays.
That would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, be sure to hit up Chase Bays. We have an extra little savings code down below if you'd like to order through our website.
What's the code?
After Hours Faction Motorsports.
Eddie, what's the code?
No, After Hours Chase Bays. Chase Bays After Hours. It's in the description below.
And everyone's been liking their new oil coolers, which is honestly that was a good idea because I know we wanted to make one of those 3 years ago, and we never did it because it was just a pain in the ass to find the parts.
Yep.
But they pretty much built exactly what we wanted to build, so we might not even make one now.
Yeah, I mean, they specialize in high-end fluid transfer products, and they did just that. So,
You're right about that.
good stuff. Everything is just tuned to perfection by
You
them.
saw that video they did with Chase at Final Bout and at Front Street?
Yeah, I did.
Where he like fell over the fucking thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I think we're gonna get Chase in here in the next few months to work on Josh's car.
Nice.
So I don't know. Josh is gonna scheme a way to get him up here to.
Wow, it's like you gotta, people fly in their tuner. They gotta fly in the
Yeah, you gotta fly.
fluid
in there.
transfer tuner.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys.
See you on the next one. Bye.
See ya. Bye.